Need your lawn looking its best? Then Clips and Cuts is who you call. We have the knowledge, experience, and passion to create the most beautiful lawns and landscaping for residential and commercial mowing, plus complete landscape installments, landscape design, shrub pruning, and tree trimming. We also specialize in hardscape, offering a variety of patios, retaining walls, water features, and even snow plowing during the winter months. Call Nick Ritchie to schedule your services today.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Kasasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, it just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Kasasa.
Hi, I'm Josh with Scout Construction, proud sponsor of local teams and athletes. Check out your favorite local sports right here on the OH Report.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
Another Friday night of high school football action on Fox Sports 1340. Bill Morgan in for Brandon Wells with Tony Van Dyne. And for those of you joining along on the video stream on OH Report, YouTube, Facebook, and everywhere, thanks for being with us there as well. Tony, I don't know how people are not fired up at this time of the year. Small town high school football, not that Ashland or New Philadelphia are tiny towns, but they're not Cleveland or Columbus or Cincinnati. These communities love their team.
It's the thing to do on Friday night. The stadium's filled. There's like 200 little cheerleaders on the stage. It's neon night. We got the 2-1 Ashland Arrows playing the 1-2 Quakers from New Philadelphia. It's OCC play. Yeah, there's nowhere you would rather be than here in Community Stadium tonight.
And it is a beautiful facility to be sure. One thing we've got to do before this game kicks off, Tony and I don't really like to do this, but we've got to tell you who will not go tonight. The UH Samaritan Injury Report brought to you by University Hospitals. Samaritan Medical Center. Choose University Hospitals. And for New Philadelphia, a key part of their defensive attack, big defensive lineman junior Zach Bussey, 6'6", 275, is injured and will not go. And really key, certainly, unfortunately, for Ashland will not play tonight, Tony.
Yeah, two big names. Max Harpster out last week, still week to week with his ankle. Also, the freshman QB, Nathan Bernhardt, got hurt on a defensive play as a defensive lineman. He has a fractured foot, likely out 5 weeks, maybe longer. We may not see him for the rest of the season. So some changes on the quarterback front. May see a little bit of Landon McFrederick like we did last year. So the big number 12, the 6'5" freshman, not going to go tonight.
New Philadelphia won the toss, decided to defer until the second half. So, of course, the Arrows will take the football to get this contest underway.
Yeah, and this is really best against best. The Quakers like their defense. They think they're going to be dominant. Ashland obviously putting up almost 500 yards, 462 yards per game. They like their offense. So we're going to see on the very first drive, best versus best out here.
Nathaniel Demuth to kick it off for the Quakers, and he drives it long down the field, going to be fielded inside the 5 at the 4. Running to the left hash mark across the 5-10, and good coverage by Quakers special teams. About a 7-yard return, and it looks like they will spot it at about the 12-yard line. So pretty good special teams coverage by visiting New Philadelphia to begin this game.
Yeah, we can talk a little bit about Caden Spots. Caden's done a tremendous job this year. 354 yards rushing the ball on the first 3 games. He's got 6 touchdowns. We didn't see a whole lot of Caden Spots getting productivity last year, even though he had a lot of carries. But because defenses have begun to drop back so much on this Ashland running attack, it's really opened up the opportunity for a player spot like Caden Spots for Ashland to have a couple big games. Look for another one tonight.
First pass complete over the middle. That'll be good for an Arrows first down across the 25 and out to the 29-yard line. John Metzger with the reception, and the Arrows with a big gain on the first play from scrimmage. And Tony, they're quick to the line of scrimmage for play number 2.
Yeah, quick slant to Johnny Metzger. We're going to see a lot of that. 15 yards and right to the line, right back at it.
Now the give to Spots. He'll run right up the middle, come across the 30 and lean up to the 32 before he's wrapped up and brought down on the play just underway. About 20 seconds into the game, Ashland and New Philadelphia scoreless on a beautiful Friday night for high school football action. Play being signaled in from the Arrows sideline. They'll send 3 receivers wide right, 1 wide left. Quarterback, junior Luke Bryant, he'll take the snap looking to his left, launches it long down the field and overthrows his intended receiver that time. Back in coverage that time for the Quakers. Senior linebacker Connor Tetzloff, so that'll stop the clock. 11:36 to play in the first quarter.
If there's one thing, Bill, I can tell you about Luke Bryant is he likes to throw the deep ball. No, he's got a really nice deep ball as well. He's a great baseball player. He likes to take the shots deep. Made a couple of mistakes last week, either overshooting guys, just kind of being excited for his first week back after missing week 2. But look for some more inside slants and more medium-sized routes to get this number 5 going.
He'll throw it right over, and that pass is caught, and that's good for an Ashland first down. Metzger, another catch out to the 41-yard line.
Yeah, almost a one-man route. That was almost, they were going to hand it off to Spots, but they saw Metzger kind of pop open. So Luke pulled it, fired a 7-yard pass, his second completion to Johnny Metzger. First down.
Bryant on the season. 376 yards through the air. Spots in motion to the left. Bryant looking downfield. He's got a man open and overthrows him at about the 20-yard line. Again, that's been his favorite receiver here in the early going. Metzger, who actually had a step on the Quaker defender.
We got a flag in the backfield as well.
That's usually in the vicinity we see holding. And that is the call.
Yeah, that's a big one for the Arrows. The Arrows had a lot of problems last week with penalties. 14 penalties for 120 yards against Buckeye Valley Barons. A lot of procedure penalties. Just offense couldn't, just hold their water, just not move. A lot of holding penalties, a lot of personal fouls. So offensive coaches have spent a lot of time just telling guys, hey, penalties are really just mental mistakes. It's where you already got beat. And we can take a look at the offensive starting lineup here.
Certainly some talent to be sure, highlighted by Caden Spots, John Metzger, Landon McFrederick, and many more. And on the long play, gain of a couple of yards.
Yeah, Luke Bryant just kind of pulling that one there, trying to show Spots running to the left, running a quarterback counter back to the right. We may see a little bit more of that if McFrederick kind of comes in. We've not seen Luke as a running back, but 3 yards, 2 yards, he's setting up 2nd and 18.
Pitches it to the man in motion. Good pursuit by the Quakers, but good job breaking out of a tackle that time by Landon McFrederick, the talented senior. He brings it up to the 37-yard line, bringing up a 3rd and long play. Quakers' leading tackler, Willie Wallace, in on the tackle from his safety spot. 29 tackles on the season for the speedy senior. Well, this is where New Philadelphia, in terms of on the visiting sideline, they need to get off the field here and not give this talented Arrows offense a chance to fly any further. Pass going to be complete to McFrederick. He'll come across the 40, across the 45 to the 46-yard line, where he's wrapped up and brought down on the play. New Philadelphia middle linebacker Zach Rothrock on the tackle.
Yeah, they're going to give Landon a gain of 7 there, but that's still going to set up 4th and 3. That 10-yard offensive line holding penalty really set them back too far. So even though you got 2 or 3 productive plays there, still too far for the Arrows to go for it on 4th down. Landon McFrederick back to punt.
Quakers 1 man deep, standing at his own 20. Looks like Willie Wallace, a low snap, but Frederick going to get the kickoff. It'll bounce to Quaker 25. Be fielded at the 16, across the 20, and back up toward the 25 to about the 24-yard line, where the Quakers will start with their first offensive possession of the night.
We can take a look at New Philadelphia team spotlight under head coach Mike Johnson, his 2nd year as head coach, 14th year on staff. I was down on the field talking with him a little bit. He said he's coached offensive lines, quarterbacks, running backs, defenses. He's done it all. First year to join the OCC after several years. What year, Bill, did they leave? Do you know offhand?
They did. The last year of the ECOL was last year. Okay. So they had to go and find somewhere, and they're happy to be in the OCC.
Yeah. Having some problems offensively, been shut out the last 2 weeks. They are a run-first offense. There's no question about it. Trevor Bean, Keaton Fossil, they're looking to run right down this Arrow defensive line all night long.
The handoff going to go to Trevor Bean. Bean coming up the middle to about the 28-yard line. A gain of about 3, 2nd down and 7. Bean, a 5'10 senior, New Philadelphia's leader, and times carrying the ball at 42nd and rushing at 138 on this campaign. 9:02 to play in the opening quarter. The Arrows in New Philadelphia scoreless tonight from Community Stadium. See some of the Quakers' talented linemen. Certainly one of them is right guard Cam Clarkson, being recruited by a number of Division II schools. Handoff on 2nd down and running it right side. It's Bean again, and Bean will be brought down at the 30, setting up a 3rd and 5 play call. Quakers head coach Mike Johnson, as Tony was mentioning, in his 14th year coaching in New Philadelphia, 2nd year as head coach, Tony, he's his own offensive coordinator.
Yeah, not surprised. I asked him if he was an offensive guy or defensive guy, and he just laughed. He's like, I am all offense. I've always been offense. It's what I've done. So not surprised by that he's going to be calling his own plays.
Quakers will come out of the huddle, send 3 receivers wide left, 1 man in the backfield, standing to Fossil's right. Fossil looking, getting some pressure, and the Arrows defense going to come up big and bring him down back at the 26-yard line. A big play defensively by Ashland. We'll see the replay on this, and certainly the big push by the defense.
Yeah, good sacks are usually a combination of 2 things. Good pressure up front and good coverage. Ashland loves their secondary. Their skill guys, they feel like they can go man-to-man on any play. Obviously, if you can go to man-to-man, you can probably run a zone. So, Fossil just sitting back there in the pocket looking for someone. No one's open. Arrows collapse that pocket, bring him down for a 1-yard sack.
Curtis Tetzloff back to punt. Kicks it, kind of a short kick. But it'll take a big Quaker bounce down the right sideline. We'll see where they mark it out of bounds. In front of the Ashland bench, they'll say out of bounds at the 37-yard line of Ashland. 7:14 to play in quarter number one. The Arrows of head coach Sean Cedar in his fourth year guiding this program, getting ready for their second possession of the night, held the Quakers to a 3-and-out on their opening possession, Tony.
Yeah, 392 yards of offense last week over that Buckeye Valley win, 34-16. The score probably could have even been more than that. They kind of backed off a little bit as the game was kind of wearing out. Had the big win week 2 at Marion Harding. This is an offensive-minded team. Wouldn't be surprised to see Sean Cedar come up with some more plays here to get that ball moving.
Boy, spots a nice run as he avoided being stopped in the backfield and gains up across the 40 to about the 41. So a 2nd down and 6 play call for the Arrows. Their gray jerseys, orange numbers, black uniform pants.
Spots had a good 168 yards last week, had 2 touchdowns, just runs hard. You don't get very many tackles for a loss against number 20.
Bryant will swing it out to the left. It's complete up the left sideline. Boy, a nice move and into Quaker territory. And Spots showing his diversity. Run the ball, catch the ball, and that's another Ashland first down into Quaker territory. They place it on the left hash at the 44.
Yeah, that one good for another 15 yards. Ashland right back to the line. Keaton Spot's not a well-known receiver, but there's so many good receivers out there that you can all of a sudden put a 5th receiver out there, and that's a lot to cover. So good job by Caden. Get to the sidelines, making that cut back, making the first down.
And on 1st and 10, Bryant overthrowing the intended receiver who was running at right hash. So 2nd down and 10, the incompletion, of course, stopping the clock here at Community Stadium. 6:21 to play in quarter number 1 of this scoreless Friday night OCC affair. Luke Bryant, 6'1", 195, a junior, brings Spots in motion, gives to Spots. Spots running right down to the 40-yard line. They'll mark him down about the 41, a gain of 3. 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, not a whole lot on that play. Ashland set up going 5 wide, brought Caden Spots back into motion into that backfield, trying to, get to the outside, but Caden thought he saw something in the middle. He just ended up finding a bunch of Quakers. So good leg drive to get a couple 3 yards to set up 3rd and 7.
Play signaled in from the sideline. Quarterback Luke Bryant looking at the play call sheet on his wrist. Hands off to Spots. Spots breaks out of 1 tackle. Might have got a half yard, but then he's wrapped up and brought down. Jaden Bolts from his inside linebacking spot brings him down. So talk to me, because this, of course, being my first time seeing Ashland.
Sure.
Are they going to go for it here? Do they pump the ball away and try and flip the field?
They're going to try to flip the field here. A couple of years ago, they would line landed number 1 back here in a Viper sort of setup. So they're not unknown to go for it or have a running play or a passing play even out of a favorable punting scenario. So you're right. Being at the 40, it's kind of that risky. And here they go. They spread it out. They want to see how the Quakers line up. This could either be a quick punt or a pass play.
McFrederick nearly gets the punt block, but gets away
punt.
A nice high angling kick. It'll bounce at the 12. And the Arrows trying to chase it down before it gets to the end zone. And they do a great job on special teams. Ooh. Almost, Tony, let it roll a little bit too far, but they got it at the 1.
Yeah, Colton Johnson doing a good job letting it bounce at the 5, knowing, hey, just let it go. I understand the rules. But, yeah, he lets that thing go all the way down to the line. Man, you can't even put a credit card in between that ball and the end zone. So the Quakers are going to be backed up on their own 1-yard line to start this drive.
Great look at the replay there on OH.REPORT. Follow them if you weren't aware. You can get that video stream, YouTube, Facebook, and so much more. And I've been doing these games long enough that, first off, there didn't used to be any live broadcast. Second, when they did, they would emanate, and it looked like your grandpa had perhaps a few too many adult beverages with a black and white camera. No graphics, it was bad. This is great work by the folks at OH.REPORT. Quakers 1st and 10 from their 1. Throw a pass down the right sideline, and boy, it's caught, but was he in bounds? And he was. Boy, what a grab that time. Running the sideline for the Quakers, their leading receiver, Dan DiDonato. Well, and if nothing else emanates from this drive, Tony, they're not on the 1-yard line anymore.
Yeah, taking the risk, known to be a running team, kind of taking advantage of Ashland, probably bringing pressure. Keaton Fossil just sits back there, throws a nice little fade route to Dan running down the sideline. He does a great job of catching the ball, getting his feet in bounce, and stepping out. 29-yard gain and a lot more room to play. So officials here looking probably at a clock not running. Little stoppage of play.
Our referee, Brian Bednarzik, trying to check that out. And now they're signaling up somebody from the Ashland sideline about how much time they want on the clock.
Yeah.
Is that Coach Cedar who was doing that?
That's Coach Sauter, defensive back coach, assistant director, middle school athletic director. He's a talented man.
And time control clock guy from the sideline.
And yeah, sends signals up to the time booth, apparently.
Wearing multiple hats. 1st and 10 Quakers from their own 30. The handoff going to go to Trevor Bean and look like Bean might have got a yard.
Yeah, we'll give him a yard on that. Yeah, Ashland's doing a good job. Coach Cox, defensive coordinator, said he was going to bring pressure, and he has every time. Not just the 3-man front, but the 2 linebackers and even another outside linebacker. He wants to bring 5 and 6 to try to stop this offensive rushing attack and make Fossil be a passing quarterback. He got him once for that nice 29-yard throw, but good job by Ashland, kind of standing strong, setting up 2nd and 9 here.
The ball right in the middle of the field turf. 2nd and 9 from the 31. A scoreless game, 4 minutes to play in the first quarter. Fossil going to swing it out. The pass complete to Willie Wallace, but he gets stuck. Landon McFrederick out on the side, and boy, a big tackle by the senior.
Yeah, if he's not catching the ball and he's not running the ball, he's making tackles out there, playing man-to-man coverage. This time, Landon, shutting the block of the wide receiver, getting into Willie's face, bringing him down for a gain of 0. Setting up 3rd and long.
So Fossil, a couple of pass completions early, including big 29-yarder to DiDonato earlier in the drive. Now faced with a 3rd and 9 play call here from the left hash. 2 Quaker receivers, wide right, 1 wide left. Fossil going to look right, going to pull it down, going to run with the football. Across the 35, fighting his way toward across the 30 to the 35 before he's wrapped up and brought down. Setting up what will be a probable 4th and 5 play call, and more than likely a punting situation for visiting New Philadelphia.
Yeah, that quick pass play, Fossil saw nothing was there. And you could see how elusive Keaton Fossil is just in the way that he tucks it. And all of a sudden he becomes a shifty running back. You're going to see him not just hand it off to Trevor Bean, but as this game continues, they're going to start hand off to Bean, hand off to Bean, hand off to Bean. And then the one time Fossil's going to pull it and try to go around the outside. So you got to keep your eyes on number 11 if you're an Ashland Arrow defender.
Tetzlaff standing at his 22.
It's a bad snap.
Punt, and he's going to get ripped down back at the 17-yard line.
Yeah, bad snap. Just couldn't get his hands on it. Kind of dribbled it twice, and too many Ashland Arrows taking advantage, realizing that he's having some problems. Going to go for about a 15 or 20-yard loss, setting up Ashland on the 20-yard line of New Philadelphia. 1st and 10, just 20 yards to go for points.
Tony, the Quakers had some problems with that long snapping back in week 1. And for the visitors, that raises its ugly head again. You're on their 2nd possession. And for Ashland, great field position from the Quaker 19. Bryant waiting the snap, has it, can immediately look downfield, throws the ball incomplete at about the Quaker 10.
I think he was surprised how open Grayson Story was there on that slant. He kind of got excited and just fired out there to Luke Bryant. I'm sure if he could get that back, he'd hit the number 3 right in the middle. But going over to New Philadelphia, yeah, there's so much to teach your kids and to work on offense and defense that sometimes special teams become special when you either make really good plays or you give up really plays. Unfortunately for the Quakers, unfortunately for the Ashland Arrows, that big punt fumble sets Ashland up in great position.
They give to Spots, and he will go nowhere as the Quakers got a big-time push defensively. And getting up off the bottom of the pile that time, New Philadelphia doing a good job of pursuit.
Maybe Elijah Forrest, number 40, the big 6', 210-pound defensive lineman. First time that Ashland probably lost the offensive line of scrimmage there. Quakers just getting a great push. Spots nowhere to go. Loss of 1.
3rd and 11 from the 20. Bryant looking, and boy, he had a man open, but the pass incomplete inside the 2-yard line. So 4th down and 11. Talk to me, Tony, about the Ashland kicking game?
There's not much of a kicking game to speak of. I mean, we can hit extra points and maybe a 20-yarder if the game was down on it.
Sure.
This is a definitely go for it. You know, it's hard to find high school kickers. You know, they're either playing soccer at this point in their career. We got a resetting of the play clock here by the officials, but yeah, definitely a time that Ashland's going to go for it here, even though it's 4th and 10. And Luke's had open receivers. You know, he had Grayson Story on that slant. He had Johnny Metzger on a post route there. As much as I said in the pregame that Luke needs to fire it in there, if he could just take a little bit more off it. I know I'm getting picky now. You don't need to float it in there, but you don't need to rocket it in there either. Ashland needs to pick up here 11 yards to the first down.
Luke's got the snap, throws the ball over the middle, nearly picked off. The Quakers deflected away, and they force a turnover on downs. New Philadelphia defensive coordinator Seth Watson happy with his troops as they'll come off the field. And this is where, as you see that replay there, New Philadelphia's defense again coming up big after the special teams had a misplay. They gave Ashland good field position.
Yeah, New Philadelphia, you know, Coach Johnson talked about it in his interview. They're hanging their hat on their defense this year. They know their defense is talented. They know their defense is stout. They know that they can, you know, not only bend and not break when you get into that red zone and you have to kind of give a little bit, but they can also be aggressive. Quakers need to get something going on offense here because to date, not a lot going on.
Quakers with 2 receivers wide to the right. Wing back to the left goes in motion. They'll hand it off. Penalty flag, probably a procedure, and that's going to be the call on New Philadelphia. So that'll transition from 1st and 10 to 1st and 15. And while they don't run the play a lot, the jet sweep to Willie Wallace is something that they do call on occasion. And we'll have to wait and see what comes up now. Wallace, in terms of rushing, 4 carries on the year, 17 yards.
And you hate to see that penalty and continue that play because it's a play that you don't show very often. You kind of want to keep hidden, and you hate to get the play actually continued, and you hand off the ball to the wide receiver coming in motion, and then you find out a lineman jump. So unfortunately, you kind of tipped your hand, and you didn't get the play there for the Quakers.
Fossil throws a pass trying to get it. In terms of a pass completion that time to Willie Wallace up the right seam, he threw it behind Willie, incomplete. 2nd down and 15. Bill Morgan for Brandon Wells tonight. Tony Van Dyne, our color analyst. Our producer back in the Fox Sports 1340 studios, Daniel Dunbar. The clock stopping on that incompletion, 1:39 to play in the opening quarter. We are scoreless between Ashland and New Philadelphia. Fossil going to pull it down. He's going to run with it. Running to the right across the 15, but then pursued by a host of Arrow defenders. They wrap him up and bring him down.
Yeah, just a design quarterback sweep that time, trying to get to the outside. Landon McFrederick understanding his role as the cornerback. You have to force it back in. So he's shaded out a little bit, maybe more than he wanted to. You want to come up and make that big hit. But the more important thing is don't let Fossil outside. He does just that. His middle linebackers come and clean it up for maybe a gain of 1, setting up still 3rd and long, 3rd and 12.
Ethan Truax credited with the Ashland tackle. Ethan on the year, his team's 2nd leading tackler. 28 now counted to 29 on the year. Trips receivers to the left. One comes in motion, and
we're going to get a quicker timeout.
And we will take a timeout as well. 53 seconds to play in the opening quarter. Ashland and New Philadelphia scoreless on Fox Sports 1340.
Hi, I'm Josh with Scout Construction, proud sponsor of local teams and athletes. Check out your favorite local sports right here on the OH.REPORT.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Kasasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, you just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Kasasa.
We credited the New Philadelphia defense with stopping Ashland and credit the Arrows and their defensive effort for getting the ball right back for their offense. The snap much better this time. Curtis Tetzloff gets it away, and a little bit better punt received at the 48-yard line, and Metzger backpedaling and actually loses about 3 or 4 on the return.
And the way he caught it, I almost thought he called for a fair catch because he wasn't very quick to kind of grab it and go, but tried to go east and west and just dragged down by a couple of Quakers there. Like you said, Bill, good job by the Arrow defense. 2 rushes, didn't really accomplish a whole lot, making the Quakers be a passing team, which they don't want to be, forces the punt and gives Ashland back the ball. 40 seconds still to go in the first quarter.
They've got it in good field position at their own 45 near the left hash. Quarterback is Bryant. He takes the snap, dropping straight back, getting heavy pressure, avoids it for now. Still goes back to the line of scrimmage on the run before he's wrapped up and brought down on the play.
Yeah, Luke Bryant dropping back, just getting a lot of pressure from those defensive ends. Luke ends up stepping up, making a nice elusive move to get past the defensive tackle. Really a great effort by number 5, Luke Bryant, quarterback, just to have a no gain, but more importantly, not a big loss to set the Arrows back. So first time really, I think all season that we've seen a defense get pressure on this offensive line. The offensive line has not only run blocked pretty well, but they've pass blocked. They've kept both Luke Bryant and the freshman Nathan Bernhard pretty safe and sack free. First time this year that we've seen the Quakers get some pressure.
And Ashland will not get another playoff before the first quarter comes to a close. We played 12 minutes of high school football from Community Stadium, and Ashland and New Philadelphia are scoreless on iHeartRadio.
Need your lawn looking its best? Then Clips and Cuts is who you call. We have the knowledge, experience, and passion to create the most beautiful lawns and landscaping for residential and commercial mowing, plus complete landscape installments, landscape design, shrub pruning, and tree trimming. We also specialize in hardscape, offering a variety of patios, retaining walls, water features, and even snow plowing during the winter months. Call Nick Ritchie to schedule your services today.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Kasasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, you just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Kasasa.
Hi, I'm Josh with Scout Construction, proud sponsor of local teams and athletes. Check out your favorite local sports right here on the OH Report.
Friday night, under the lights on Fox Sports 1340.
Second and 10 for Ashland as the second quarter gets underway. I'm Bill Morgan. Tony Van Duyne, pass completed out to the left sideline, and they get it up to their own 49 on the pass completion.
I like that play call by Coach Cedar, just getting a completable pass here for Luke Bryant to Johnny Metzger for a pickup of 4.
Now they'll swing it out, complete to McFrederick. He's going to pick up first down inside the Quaker 45, running to the numbers, right side. And McFrederick picks up a first down. They'll mark him down at the 39-yard line.
Yeah, and right back to the line. And if I were Coach Cedar, I'd do the same thing. Luke's now kind of getting into a rhythm. You know, he started off 2 for 2, then he goes 3 for the next 10, just missing guys a little wide, a little short, a little high, but going 2 for 2 here. Keep the rhythm going. Get right back to the line, bring Landon in motion.
Swing a pass out to the left. Boy, it's complete. Boy, Quakers coming up quick defensively that time. And certainly a big play by Dakota McCune, senior cornerback. And that results in a loss. Now, one name you're not hearing tonight as an Arrows fan is the talented freshman, Nathan Bernhard. And he's got a pretty serious injury, and that's going to keep him out a while.
Yeah, he fractured his foot playing defensive lineman last week, just got rolled up on. His dad says, you know, he's an orthopedic surgeon, fractured foot, probably at least 5 weeks. And with the season only being 10 weeks long, we may not see any more Nathan Bernhard for the rest of the season.
A double pass. It's to McFrederick. He'll throw it long down the field. Picked up by New Philadelphia. Willie Wallace has it at the 30, running to the right, 35. And he's wrapped up and brought down at the 37. So the INT by Willie Wallace.
Well, you couldn't have asked for a better play call Landon McFrederick, the quarterback from last year, really needs to be able to make that throw. He short throws it by about 15 yards. He had a big target, Grayson Sturry, kind of streaking down the middle of the field wide open. Landon just not being able to get enough juice behind it, ends up throwing the interception, turning it over to New Philadelphia.
So far, as we are early in the going of the second quarter, the Arrows and New Philadelphia scoreless, and nobody's really had a real serious scoring threat. Ashland had great field position inside the Quaker 20. Penalty flags fly in, and I guess one of the things these teams unfortunately, Tony, share in common, Mike Johnson was talking to me earlier in the week about they've got to do a better job with penalties, and there's another procedure penalty on the visitors in black and red.
Yeah, the Quakers had a lot of penalties the last couple of games, and for a running team, you don't want to get behind the sticks. You don't want to turn 1st and 10 into 1st and 15. If you're a team that's only averaging 3 or 4 yards a rush, if you can play clean football, you can actually move the chains that way and be very effective, but not if you're going the wrong direction.
Quakers on second down pass from Fossil, incomplete in terms of passing numbers on the year. Fossil, only a sophomore. See the replay and the incompletion. Keaton, 21 of 45 through the air, 153 yards. Yet to throw a touchdown pass.
Yeah, they really need a lot more productivity from him. You know, he took the job from the senior. Number 2, Curtis Tesloff, who kind of shared some time. He went to wide receiver. Needs to become a lot more productive, both as a runner and a passer, if he's going to keep that QB1 job.
Trevor Bean gets the football and runs right up the middle behind the right side of that Quaker offensive line. Cam Clarkson, 6'2", 280. And Garrett Dylan Ryan on the right side. Opening space and a gain of 7. 3rd down and 3. The ball at the Quaker 44-yard line.
I think, Bill, if I was going to run the ball, that is where I would run to. I would run behind those big guys.
Certainly 2 big fellas in Clarkson and Garrett on that side. Fossil going to run the ball to the left. And, boy, great pursuit by Ashland. They're going to wrap
fumble. Ball's out.
Loose. Arrows are saying they have it, and they do. Well, sometimes we will tell you, or in this case, Brandon and Tony will tell you, one good turnover deserves another, and that's what happens.
I think they say the ball don't lie, right? Like sometimes it just works out that way.
There you go.
Keaton Fossil trying to get to the outside there, puts his head down, makes a nice cutback, but a few more Arrows just continuing to have nice pursuit. Good job by all 11 Arrows running to the football. He kind of tries to dive over to get that last yard that he was going to need, Keaton Fossil, to pick up that New Philadelphia 1st down, and someone just gets a helmet on that ball, and it popped right out. Good job by the Arrows getting a turnover.
Ashland High School football on Fox Sports, delivered by Truax Printing, your full-service commercial printing source in Ashland and Loudonville, truaxprinting.com. Bryant, the quarterback, taking a look at the Quaker defense. 2 minutes into the second quarter, Arrows and Quakers scoreless. Pass, going to swing it out. McFrederick had it, dropped it, and incomplete. Quakers are saying, hey,
I think they thought a defender got his hands under it and actually got an interception. But, yeah, over on the OH report, if you're watching with us, we'll take a look at it. Landon just got his eyes looking downfield. Maybe the Quakers thought he was behind the line of scrimmage and it turned into a fumble. But it very clearly forward pass. Landon just getting a little too excited. Needs to keep his eyes on that football. I can't coach my 10-year-olds flag football, and that's one of the things we coach those kids all the time. You have to catch the ball first before you can make a move.
2nd and 10, Bryant. And that pistol throws it over another pickoff by New Philadelphia. Bean has it at the 45, running to midfield. And, boy, back-to-back pickoffs on back-to-back possessions by Ashland. And certainly, 4th-year head coach Sean Cedar can't be real happy about that in terms of what he's seen out of his team in that regard.
Yeah, and that read, just a mistake. You know, the linebacker's dropping. He's got someone dropping on the receiver. The intended receiver, Grayson Story, he's got a man over the top. Luke just trying to force something over the middle. It's probably one of those things that you saw all week in practice, and it worked so well because your second-team defensive inside linebacker never drops. So it's like, oh, I know pre-snap where I'm going to go with this. The one thing that Sean Cedar and the Arrows needed to do was not turn the ball over. They turned the ball over way too much week 1, too many in week 2 and week 3, and we've already got 2 turnovers already in the first half.
Fossil running to the right, and the Arrows do not let him go anywhere. He may have avoided, Keaton did, losing yardage, got back to the line of scrimmage, maybe gained a yard. Listening on Fox Sports 1340's website. New Philadelphia, Jack Swinderman. So, Jack, thanks for listening in. And I'm sure Jack's rooting for the Quakers. Well, 98.9% of the people listening tonight are cheering on the Arrows. He did gain a yard, 2nd and 9. 9:05 to play. Fossil going to roll it left, looking downfield, throws the ball over the head of Willie Wallace at the 25 of Ashland. We may have a flag down.
I'm not sure what that is in the middle of the field. I see the same thing. I don't think it's bright enough to be a flag, but it's definitely something. Keaton Fossil clearly has a strong arm. Good job rolling this time to the left side, getting his hips turned, firing. It's going to be an ineligible man downfield on the Quakers. So an offensive lineman just going up to get a linebacker, taking too many steps forward. So they're going to mark that off.
I guess, do you decline that and take the down? Or, well, we're about to fight. It doesn't matter what Tony and I know. They're going to mark it off.
I think personally, I'd move them back. This offense has struggled so much moving the ball. I can't tell what they're going to do yet.
Yeah, they took it, marked it off back to the 47. So Quakers now facing 2nd down of 14. They'll need to get just about to the Ashland 33 to pick up a 1st down. And
officials coming together to figure out, make sure the ball is spotted correctly. Well, Keaton Fossil clearly has a nice arm. He's been high more often than not, missing guys. Willie Wallace, clearly his favorite target right now, 4 intended receptions. He's got 1 catch for 0 yards. Dan Dionato, the 1 catch for 29 yards. Quakers not really having a lot of success running the ball yet. 9 team attempts for 24 yards. So Coach Cox and that defensive coordinator for the Arrows has to be pleased at this point, only giving up 24 yards to this run-first offense.
The officials assumed, and, well, you know what happens. Ashland did not want that penalty.
They declined it, yeah.
They took the down. Now it's 3rd and 9. Fossil in the pistol, takes a shotgun snap, getting plenty of pressure. And the Arrows defenders, going to see him break out of a tackle inside the 40 down to the 38-yard line before he's wrapped up and brought down on the play. 8:45 and counting in the 2nd quarter.
Good job there by Andrew Briggs, defensive lineman, just kind of hanging on to Fossil as he was kind of spinning, trying to get free. Almost got him in the backfield, and Fossil just trying to be the elusive runner. Good job by the defensive line, just hanging on. Your team's going to come and help, setting up 4th and 5, and probably bringing pressure. 1 bad snap that turned into a fumble. Another one that it was just a very wobbly long snap. Curious to see if they're going to make a change here in long snapping or if Arrows are going to come after something, and it's a fake.
Now they snap it. The Quakers going to get very close to the 1st down, and
they're going to get it.
See where they mark it, as that was a direct snap to Trevor Bean, and they mark it a 1st down. So a fake punt by the Quakers. The ball going to Bean. Bean takes it down to the 31-yard line, and if there's a time, Tony, to roll the dice, I guess you're already in Ashland territory. If you don't get it, then it's not like you've turned it over and they've only got 5 yards to go for a touchdown.
And we talked about it in the 1st quarter, how often might Ashland actually try to do a fake punt if you're on your own side of the field, if you're on the positive side of the field. We didn't even think about New Philadelphia doing it. But, yeah, good job there by Trevor Bean, just taking the snap under center, going around the left-hand side, getting 6 yards, and we only need 3. That'll move the sticks.
Fossil throwing the ball long down the field. Boy, just off the fingertips of his intended receiver. That was Dan Dionato.
Yeah, Dan Dionato beating Landon McFrederick on one-on-one coverage. Dan just going on a go route, just that one route right down the middle. Landed a couple steps behind. Wouldn't be surprised if they come back to that. That was almost caught for a touchdown. Landon going to step out and get a quick breath.
Clock stopped at 7:52 to play in the 2nd quarter. We've been scoreless. Certainly credit the New Philadelphia defense. Not that you don't credit the Ashland defense, you do, but the Arrows through the first 3 weeks have showed the ability to score the football. The handoff to Bean. Bean, who successfully converted the 4th down fake, goes inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Now, we talked about Ashland's kicking game or lack thereof, and that's no knock on anybody. New Philadelphia hasn't even attempted a field goal so far this year. So
I don't think Ashland has either.
Yeah. So I mean, I would think this is 4-down territory. I don't think they're going to bring Demuth on if they don't convert here and have him try a 40-plus yard field goal.
Yeah, now sitting inside the 30-yard line, Ashland's 30-yard line, you can start thinking about, okay, we have 2 plays to pick up these 7 yards, not just one. So you don't have to pick them up all here.
Fossil throws the ball, tipped and nearly picked off. Tried to get it to Dan DiDonato, and so it indeed will be a 4th down. You know, see it on the replay, and boy, Ashland a couple of different opportunities, and they can't believe they didn't come up with a football.
Yeah, and they practice that every day, that tip drill of like when someone gets a hand on it, you have to react to that. You know, New Philadelphia really throwing the ball a whole lot more than I thought we would see here tonight. They've only thrown the ball 12 or 13 times a game, being a run-first team, but maybe because they've not had a lot of success running the ball, just 37 yards in this game. You know, already 8 attempts, 2 completions. Keaton throwing the ball around here one more time.
Pass thrown, and Quakers are saying they caught the football. Let's see what the ruling is. It is a catch. It is a New Philadelphia 1st down. So back-to-back conversions on 4th down. One was on a fake punt. That was on a pass completion. So New Philadelphia keeps it moving. Now the officials having a conference on the numbers on the right side.
Yeah, Keaton Fossil kind of understanding he can't take a sack, so he just fires one in there into double coverage where there are 2 Quakers, maybe some confusion on the route, but good job there by Willie Wallace, actually maybe completing the catch with his back on the ground, kind of uses his feet. OH.REPORT has the replay here. He fires it out there into coverage. Landon kind of knocks it up, and yeah, I think it's off his ankle before Willie catches it laying on the ground. So a surprising catch, but good focus by Willie.
1st and 10 Quakers from the Ashland 20. 7 minutes to play in the 2nd quarter. The handoff going to go to Bean. Bean running right side down to the 15. Gets that nose of the football inside the 15 to the 14.
That run, I think, designed to go up the middle, but Bean kind of seeing that the defensive end had collapsed inside, trying to take away the inside. Bean kind of bounces the outside, picks up 3 yards, gets hit, falls forward for another 3. They're going to give him 5 on the carry. Quakers just almost slowing the game down here with their methodical offense, going for it on 4th downs. You know, they're eating a lot of time here. Ashland defense has been out there for a long time. Ashland defense needs to step up here and get a stop.
Handoff again, going to Bean. He runs out right side. Tony said, I'd run behind those 2 big fellas over there. They do again. He takes it down to about the 11. A 3rd and short play call. Hey, by the way, if you'd like a shout out from Tony and I, you can reach me on Twitter at Bill Morgan Talks. Just like it sounds. No tricky spellings. Back when I was born, there was no tricky spellings to Bill Morgan or Talks. At Bill Morgan Talks. You can even text me. I give out my number. It's not like I'm Tom Hamilton or anything. 330-432-2141. And a good stop by the Ashland defense, as that's going to set up for New Philadelphia a 4th and short play call.
Yeah, Keaton Fossil trying to go back into shotgun and just running a straight quarterback draw, getting his running back Trevor Bean kind of go up there and lead for him. Ashland clogs the middle, nothing there for a Fossil, so they're going to give him maybe a half a yard, going from 3rd and 2 now to 4th and 1. They've already picked up 2 4th down conversions on this drive. Bringing in a heavy set is Ashland defense.
Owen Rep, 6'3", 335, comes in to try and clog up the middle. The handoff to Bean, and it looks like he got the 1st down. Ran that right side behind that big right side of the offensive line. Derek Dillon Ryan, 6'2", 260. Cam Clarkson, 6'2", 280. 1st and goal Quakers from the 9. As you see that right side get the surge, and Quakers continuing to march, but we are still scoreless for visiting New Philadelphia.
Well, inside the 10-yard line here, Ashland really needs to step up. No more 4th down conversions for the Quakers to get. It's either touchdown or nothing. Quakers just running the ball consistently. They tried to go to the air early in the 2nd quarter. Really not a whole lot of success throwing the ball, but Bean and Fossil here getting a little bit going.
Ball loose, and boy, who comes up with it?
That's
penalty flag flies in.
Parker Grissiner is going to come up with it. We'll see what the penalty is.
I think it was a procedure penalty on New Philadelphia.
Yeah, and the question was going to be, did he snap the ball first or was the penalty first? You can't.
I think if it's pre-snap, you have to take the penalty.
Yeah, you can't decline a pre-snap penalty because the play's dead as soon as the officials blow the whistle dead. So
the officials are discussing it. The referee tonight, Brian Bednarzik, and
that's a great pronunciation. I'm going to give that for you. There's a lot of.
By the way, I'm selling it. All right. Whether or not that's correct, I have no idea.
It sounds great. So there's a lot of consonants and vowels in that name, but he's doing a great job there tonight, keeping his team in order.
Here we go. Mr. Bednarzik. Illegal shift on New Philadelphia. It's declined.
That's going to be a turnover.
The Quakers turn it over inside the 10-yard line. So as close New Philadelphia as either team has been to finding pay dirt, but they turn it over. Well, this first half has not, from an offensive perspective,
it's not been impressive.
No, it has not been a thing of football beauty, to be sure.
No, that's going to be the second fumble lost for the Quakers. Coach Mike Johnson's got to be frustrated. He's seen this in weeks 1 and in weeks 3 that the Quakers get so close to finding pay dirt, and then something like this happens. They either have too many penalties to take them out of, down in distance to keep the drive going, or they actually turn it over. This time, fumbling it on the 9-yard line going in. Got to be frustrated. Ashland, on the other hand, having their own problems. 2 interceptions already, one by Landon McFrederick, one by Luke Bryant. They need to get their offense going as well.
Bryant, hands off. Spot's going to run straight ahead, and he'll be pushed back. Probably got the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 10. The Pedersen family listening online tonight. Natalie and Sean, and the talented younger people in the home, Sierra and Sophia. So thanks for listening to iHeart's broadcast tonight. Make credit a gain of a yard, 2nd and 9. 4:09 to play in the first half. Ashland and New Philadelphia are scoreless. Bryant with 3 receivers, wide right. He's going to throw it right. Going to be complete out to the 15, across the 20 and the 21-yard line. Grayson Sturry on the catch, and that not only allows Ashland to pick up a first down, but kind of gets them out of that deeper territory.
Good catch there by Grayson. His first catch for the night for 12 yards. 4 targets to him, just haven't been able to reel one in. He has 8 catches now, 9 on the season, 200 yards. So he's a good target out there. You just got to get him the ball.
Bryant throwing the ball long down the right sideline, trying to get it to Johnny Metzger, and that pass falling incomplete. Curtis Tetzloff back in coverage. Tetzloff, the 3-year letterman. But Tetzloff that time saw Metzger get a step and a half on him, and Bryant couldn't quite get it there. That, of course, will stop the clock with 3:40 to play in the first half.
Yeah, whether it's been Metzger or Stewart, Johnson, we've seen 3 or 4 Ashland receivers be open, beat their defender deep, and just haven't been able to make a connection yet with the Luke Bryant.
They give to Spots across the 25 and up to the 26-yard line. That'll bring up a 3rd down play call for 4th-year head coach Sean Cedar and company. I guess you would expect if they don't pass it here and they run the football and they don't get it, New Philadelphia to utilize a timeout. We'll wait and see. There's a reason we're broadcasters and not coach. Now, Tony coaches flag football, but
I'm pretty good. I'll tell you that.
Listen, this guy's modest.
Ashland's going to get a procedure penalty, going to get backed up another 5 yards. So 3rd and achievable, 3rd and 5, all of a sudden becomes 3rd and 10, and likely changes your play call because now you're not just trying to pick up 5 or 6 yards. You need to get the full bucket, the full 10.
To the Ashland 21-yard. So that ball will go back to the Ashland 21. They place it on the right hash. 3rd down and 10 for the Arrows. Trying to pick up their 3rd consecutive win tonight. Bryant snaps, saying, give me the football. They give it to him. Throws the pass incomplete off the hand of Johnny Metzger. And Metzger's been his favorite target so far. And whether it's been Luke or Nathan Bernhardt prior to the injury, Metzger has been the favorite target all year long. Coming into the game, tied for the team lead in catches with 18 yardage, 335. And oh, by the way, pay dirt finds with 3 touchdowns on the year.
Yeah, 7 times. Luke Bryant's tried to go to Johnny Metzger here tonight. 3 catches, 26 yards. Just hasn't been able to get into a rhythm really with any of his receivers. Luke Bryant 8 for 20 currently, 74 yards and 1 interception. So, the fumble on the punt.
Wallace fumbles a punt, and boy, he and a special teamer are fighting who has it.
I think the Arrows jumped on it pretty quickly. I don't think there's any fight. Just a muff punt. Quaker returner sitting back there somewhere around his 45-yard line just bounces off his chest plate. Very fortunate for Ashland. Just good coverage. 2 Ashland guys jump on it. There's a little scrum to try to get it, but officials get in there pretty quickly to point Ashland football. Now over the 50-yard line with 2:41 to play in the second quarter. Ashland has to get some points on this drive. Momentum kind of moving on their side now, Bill.
Well, the Quakers are proverbial shooting themselves in the foot style right now. 1st and 10 for the Arrows in Quaker territory, ever be it so barely, at the New Philly 49. Bryant going to swing it out to the left, complete to McFrederick, but he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. They will actually lose a yard.
Yeah, trying to set up a wide receiver screen to the far side, to the field side. Have 2 receivers out there kind of blocking, Landon kind of running behind them to get the ball from Luke Bryant. Good job kind of completing that pass, but just unable to find any running room because that defense, again, we talked about New Philadelphia's defense. That's how they're going to win games this year is by keeping the scores low, doing a good job flying to the football.
2nd and 11, the ball sort of pops up in the backfield, and the Quakers quick to pursue it. And New Philadelphia there to do damage. Zach Rothrock, the 6'2", 210 junior.
I mean, if I could show you 2 plays of what not to do after a turnover, I think those are the 2. Have a passing play for a loss. This time trying to get to Landon McFrederick on a little shuffle pass after Landon comes in motion. They've done this multiple times throughout the year, but the timing just not right between Luke and Landon. So Luke ends up kind of tossing it to Landon, and he kind of bats it with his elbow back to Luke. That's not a design play. That's a busted play. Luke ends up losing 4 to set up 3rd and 15.
Heavy pressure. Bryant eludes it, throws the ball long down the field, and that ball's going to be picked off by New Philadelphia. Another Quaker interception. That's Dakota McCune for New Philadelphia. Now, the only place numbers are going up in rapid fashion in this game are on the turnover chart that Tony's keeping for both Ashland and New Philadelphia.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's true, Bill. Yeah, we talked a little bit about Luke having a nice deep ball, though he sometimes gets baited into throwing that deep ball when no one's actually open. That time, choosing to go up to Colton Johnson, number 16 on the far side, trusting that his receiver is going to go up there and make a play. Colton has tremendous ability to go up there and go against defenders one-on-one. That time, though, just too much inside position by the Quakers. Goes down for the second interception for Luke against Luke Bryant, the 3rd for the Ashland offense. Sean Cedar's got to be frustrated.
Fossil going to swing a pass out to the left, complete. Willie Wallace has it across the 15, fights ahead to the 19, and he'll be wrapped up and brought down. We'll see if the Quakers utilize a timeout here. Clock moving, 1:07 and counting. You see the replay. And nice job, Wallace, yards after the catch. Yeah. By the way, if you're listening at home, you can continue to listen to us and watch OH.REPORT, YouTube, Facebook, and so much more. The great folks from OH.REPORT doing a great job.
45 seconds and counting here. They got to get going.
Fossil going to roll it to his right. Throws the pass complete to Bean. Bean across the 25. Picked up the first down to the 30 and the 31. That will stop the clock momentarily while they move the chains. But now down to 36 seconds.
Good pickup of 10 there. You're right, Bill. Moves the chains. I'm surprised the Quakers aren't taking a timeout here. Even with 36 seconds, they hurry up to the ball. They're going to try to snap one here quick and save a timeout.
Fossil calling for the ball and has it. Looking downfield, throws it over the middle. It's complete with the grab and another Quaker first down. Connor Tetzlaff.
Connor Tetzlaff, good for 12. Just running a quick corner route. Ashland really dropping 9 guys and 8 guys, just trying not to give up that big play, trying to put a little bit of pressure on the quarterback. But Ashland content right now to give up chunks of 5 and 10 if they have to.
Fossil going to run the football across midfield. He's to the 45, to the 40, and trying to get out of bounds. Do they stop the clock? They do. 16 seconds to play. The replay shows Fossil, the talented sophomore who came into this game as New Philadelphia's leading rusher, And now, interestingly enough, Ashland is going to call for time. We will take a 60-second timeout, 16 seconds to play in the half. It's New Philadelphia and your Ashland Arrows, scoreless on Fox Sports 1340.
Hi, I'm Josh with Scout Construction, proud sponsor of local teams and athletes. Check out your favorite local sports right here on the OH.REPORT.
Take a look at all the action from Friday night football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH.REPORT.
The Arrows, every Friday night on Fox Sports 1340.
First and 10 from the 40, and Quakers get a playoff quickly, but it goes incomplete as Fossil was trying to find Willie Wallace down the right sideline. The incompletion, of course, stops the clock. Only 10 seconds to play in what has been a scoreless first half.
Yeah, and surprisingly enough, Willie was actually open. Not sure why Ashland's not dropping 3 or 4 this time they do.
Now Quakers going to have to quickly get another timeout. Mike Johnson, the second-year head coach, telling the official, give us a timeout. They get it. Connor Tetzloff makes his second catch on this drive. And coming into the game, the 6'4", 200-pound senior had 3 catches. Now he's got 2 more. Connor's father, Rod Tetzloff, and for that matter, Rod is the father of Curtis, his twin brother. Rod was a Division I basketball player back in the day at 6'9.5" at the University of Akron.
Wow, so those boys aren't done growing. You know, I thought Connor was already good size at 6'4", 200, and Curtis 6'1", 180. But yeah, with a dad at 6'9", they've got some inches to go still. Likely still in high school, you know.
No question about that. Well, we've probably got one play here. We're going to go to the end zone, 4 seconds. And the Quakers will send 3 receivers wide left, 2 wide to the right. Pistol formation for sophomore quarterback Keaton Fossil.
Ashland in there with 5 cornerbacks, dropping back all the way down into the 10. Just, they understand, don't give up the touchdown.
Fossil completes it to Bean. Bean inside the 5 to the 4 and brought down, it looks like at the 1
Amazing.
yard line.
Not
as
going to give it to
the
him.
half comes to a close. We'll look at it on the replay before we take our halftime timeout. The ball completed to Bean at the 11. Bean ran right seam all the way down to the 1 yard line. The Arrows and the classic bend but do not break. We've reached the half. Ashland scoreless, New Philadelphia scoreless. The halftime show starts now on Fox Sports 1340.
Hi, I'm Josh with Scout Construction, proud sponsor of local teams and athletes. Check out your favorite local sports right here on the OH.REPORT.
Need your lawn looking its best? Then Clips and Cuts is who you call. We have the knowledge, experience, and passion to create the most beautiful lawns and landscaping for residential and commercial mowing, plus complete landscape installments, landscape design, shrub pruning, and tree trimming. We also specialize in hardscape, offering a variety of patios, retaining walls, water features, and even snow plowing during the winter months. Call Nick Ritchie to schedule your services today.
Need to catch up on some action? Check out the Friday Night Pigskin featuring all of the football highlights from the area at 11:30 every Friday on the OH.REPORT.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Kasasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, you just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Kasasa.
What's up, America? Brian Skoronsky here, and if you want to see me and the gang chop it up with some unintelligent conversation, we've got the show for you. Check out the OH Report video podcast every Monday, exclusively, right here on the OH Report.
Ladies and gentlemen, Marching Quaker Band thanks you for your kind attention. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the field the pride of the Arrows, the 2022 Ashland High School Marching Band, and Sweetie's Dance Team. Leading the band tonight is Field Commander Andy Roblin, with assistant field commanders Keila Thielen and Lillian Watson. Tonight, the Marching Arrows pay tribute to the chairman of the board, Frank Sinatra. We open tonight's show by going all the way back to 1958. We hope you enjoy our version of Sinatra's hit, Come Fly With Me. Roll the crowd with the roots inspired by Frank Sinatra's God. If you think of 1966, these boots are made for walking. First recorded by Old Blue Eyes in 1979. Theme from New York, became a staple at Sinatra's live shows. We hope you enjoy our finale. We take on this classic hit featuring some moves inspired by the Radio City Rockette. Enjoy New York, New York.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Kasasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, it just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Kasasa.
Need your lawn looking its best? Then Clips and Cuts is who you call. We have the knowledge, experience, and passion to create the most beautiful lawns and landscaping for residential and commercial mowing, plus complete landscape installments, landscape design, shrub pruning, and tree trimming. We also specialize in hardscape, offering a variety of patios, retaining walls, water features, and even snow plowing during the winter months. Call Nick Ritchie to schedule your services today.
On Fox Sports 1340.
Your resources are professional. It's a real reaching from the door. All the time. South Florida American Science for the Health Comfort Club. Priority service, free service, exclusive member only discounts, replacement parts, interfiller removals. Does anyone here play with this off? Comfort control. It's plumbing, water insurance, some parts and grading the needs. Well, no, comfort control. Sports on 480. Ashland High School football on Fox Sports 1340. Delivered by Truax Printing.
New Philadelphia and Ashland back out on the field, warming up as we get ready for third quarter play. The Arrows and New Philadelphia scoreless coming into tonight's Friday night matchup. The Arrows 2-1, back-to-back wins. New Philadelphia kind of on the opposite side of that coin, 1-2 after beginning their season with a win, back-to-back losses. Bill Morgan in for Brandon Wells, Tony Van Duyne as always, color analyst, and while obviously Tony Ashland has some games in between here and there, you and I will see each other again coming up when the Arrows go on the road to Worcester.
Yeah, looking forward to that. You know, Worcester is always a great opponent. Glad to have the OH Report alongside with us. If you want to watch live, you can go over to YouTube. You can go over to Facebook. They're doing a great job doing live by live play and playback. So if you're looking for something else to do tonight, stay with us or go check them out live.
They've got a great shot of the moon right now. And boy, that is beautiful. Yeah, I mean, really, technically, I suppose it's a shade too warm for the players. But, I mean, it's a great night to be out watching high school football. Listen, in 2 or 3 weeks, you're going to be wishing this was here.
Yeah, we're going to get into cold weather, the wind, the snow, the rain, you know, all the elements come. But, yeah, we've been very blessed by 4 beautiful weeks so far. Not a lot of offense, again, to speak of for the Arrows or for the Quakers. Arrows just struggling to move the ball. 3 interceptions, 2 by quarterback Luke Bryant, 1 by Landon McFrederick on the gadget play. Had open guys, just haven't been able to get into the red zone. All the interceptions happening around the 30-yard line when you're just starting to get something to go. I'll jump over, talk a little bit more about Luke Bryant, 9 for 22, just struggling to find open receivers, 73 yards. You know, this Ashland Arrows team put up 34 points last week, 49 against Marion Harding, and even 28 against Norway. So to see that goose egg, 0-0 kind of feels very strange here for a lot of Ashland fans, myself included. We're used to putting up points, not really sure how to get this thing going.
Find all the scores from Football Friday night on the North Central State College High School football scoreboard at our website, WNCOAM.com. NC State, where the quality is high, the tuition is low, and you don't have to leave home to go far. By the way, speaking of scores, how about this one from the OCC? We heard the public address announcer at Community Stadium mention a moment or so ago, Tony. West Holmes laying the wood on Mansfield Senior 24-7.
Yeah, 24-7 at half, and that's against a Mansfield Senior team that got beat 33-0 last week at Massillon. Coach Chokey Bradley just not used to losing, definitely not used to not putting up points. So definitely some questions for Mansfield, I'm sure, at halftime. Worcester at Madison. Worcester leading currently 7-0 over the Madison Rams. Madison currently is 0-3 under new head coach Valentine. They're trying to get their first win. May come tonight against the Worcester Generals.
Other great sponsors of Ashland football. The UH Samaritan Injury Report prior to every game, brought to you by University Hospital Samaritan Medical Center. Choose University Hospitals. Visit with 25 primary care providers and 4 urgent care locations right here in our communities. So these two teams getting ready to get underway in the third quarter. And Tony, you and I, because we are football aficionados. Actually,
that's correct.
We're not really all that bright when it comes to football, but we simply probably who hangs on to the ball here in the second half is going to win this game, because neither team, and you don't take pot shots at kids playing a game, but neither team did that effectively in the opening 2 quarters.
Yeah, neither team was able to sustain a drive long enough to put up points. You know, both teams actually were able to move the ball, a couple punts back and forth, but for the most part, the drives ended on interceptions or on fumbles. So here's Ashland's going to kick off left to right to the Quakers. The question is the same. You know, can the Quakers hang on to the ball for 12 plays? You know, 12 to 15 plays is probably what they need to score a touchdown, or are they going to have another missed snap, another fumble, another bad pass? And then on the other side of the ball, it's like, can Luke Bryant, quarterback number 5, Luke Bryant, begin to hit open receivers, find good reads? You know, he's doing a good job of, you know, moving the pocket and running when he needs to, but he's still forcing the ball deep. He had a pass deep that was intercepted, and one right over the middle where a linebacker was dropping with a secondary guy over the top. Probably not an advised throw once he sees that on film tomorrow, but he needs to make those changes tonight as we start the third quarter.
Quakers receive the kick. It bounces into the end zone. Willie Wallace deep for New Philadelphia to receive, but that's an automatic touchback. Another person listening online at WNCOAM.com. You can always do that. They're on the iHeartRadio app. Melissa Borton says she's listening in. So, Melissa, thank you for doing that. And from the time I started in radio, Tony, and that was a couple of years ago, that's the biggest change is technology. People can listen online around the world to follow the arrows. And certainly back in the day, you couldn't do that.
Well, and you never had a phone lighting up with people saying they're listening to you and asking you questions, right? And even giving you some tidbits about things going on the field.
They bring a man in motion, does New Philadelphia. It was Connor Tetzloff on the carry.
That's going to be his first carry of the season. I don't think they've gotten him the ball yet.
Well, when you're trying to find a way to get on the scoreboard, whether you're Mike Johnson at New Philadelphia or whether you're the talented Ashland team, you'll change things up a little bit.
Yeah, I always like watching drives coming out of halftime because you've had the chance to talk to the kids, you've gotten the whiteboard, you should be able to have installed something that's going to work.
Fossil rolling right, the pass complete, or did they say he stepped out of bounds? We'll see.
I think they're going to give it to him, and then he stepped out of bounds.
Owen Schellis on the catch. Schellis, certainly a big target out there for Fossil. 6'6" and 200 pounds. They put the ball down on the right hash at the 31-yard line. Quakers, 2 receivers, wide left, couple of backs in the backfield. They hand off to Bean. Bean running right. 35, 36-yard line. Gain of 5, second and 5 for the visiting team from Tuscarawas County.
Yeah, and Bean hitting that hole fast, kind of with some rejuvenated energy. Maybe that halftime was good for him just to be able to get a little bit of break, not going both ways, just being able to hit that hole fast with a little bit more power than we saw later in the second quarter. So, you know, Trevor Bean probably going to wear down teams as the game goes on. And this is New Philadelphia's plan of attack, is to run the ball, take time, keep Ashland's offense on the sideline, and put up some points here.
Again, the give to Bean. Again, he runs right. He comes across the 40, all the way up to the 45. They'll mark him down at the 44. A New Philadelphia first down. And I guess, Tony, when you break down what Ashland needs to do defensively, you and I pointed out, boy, the Quakers having success behind that right side. What do you do from an X's and O's perspective to try and limit what they're doing or maybe force them to go left?
Yeah, you either have to like get your left side defensive end to stand up and actually make a play, or you need to start bringing pressure. Ashland uses a lot of rover linebackers. You can roll him over. You can bring pressure on that side to bring another defender, because right now they're just going over that right side and getting 4s and 5s and 6 yards. Here's another one over the right side for a pickup of 4.
Bean goes up to the Quaker 48-yard line. Second down as the clock moves under 10 minutes to play in the third quarter. Second and 6. We'll set the right side of that offensive line for you, because certainly they deserve credit as they're having success moving the ball to that side of the field. Fossil brings Wallace in motion and jet sweep right. Wallace across the 50, across the 45, fights his way to the right sideline in front of the Quaker bench, down to the 40. Another New Philadelphia first down, and again they run right, the right side of that offensive line. As you see on the replay, the success being had there. Cam Clarkson, 6'2", 280. Garrett Dillon Ryan, 6'2" and 260.
Yeah, and Ashland did just what I just had talked about bringing that linebacker out on a blitz. Just missed him in the backfield for a loss of 2. But when you miss a guy, a busted tackle turns into a big play, that time for 12.
The ball to Trevor Bean. Bean again going to run right. Inside the 40 of Ashland, down to the 38, a gain of 2, second down and 8. And quite often, whether it's New Philadelphia, whether it's Ashland or whomever, you're just going to keep going back to the well until they show you they can stop it.
Yeah, I keep waiting for Keaton Fossil, the quarterback, to kind of pull it and go the other way, which I think he will eventually, but it's kind of foolish to do that. If you're picking up 3s and 4s every time, they haven't even had a third down here recently. So keep running behind those big guys on the right side until Ashland can say, hey, we can stop you on that play.
Again, jet sweep right. Again, Wallace with the ball. Wallace inside the 35, down to the 34. Quakers having already chewed up, in addition to the yardage Tony's telling you about, 3.5 minutes of clock time here in the early third quarter.
Looks like we've got an offensive lineman down.
Quaker training staff out onto the field, led by veteran athletic trainer Todd Steele. And this might be one of those situations you can never tell, but with the weather, the heat, the humidity, this could certainly be a cramped situation.
Yeah, especially coming out of half. We saw this last week. It was so hot, and coming out of halftime, the guys just aren't used to pushing. Maybe you didn't get a good enough stretch between the second halftime time, and coming back out before kickoff. So hopefully it's just an offensive lineman kind of cramping up, but he's going to get a little bit of help. He's walking off under his own power. That's going to be big number 67, Cameron Clarkson. That's your big guy.
Cam's dad, Dave Clarkson, a member of the Quaker coaching staff. Papa Dave played college football at Walsh down in Canton.
I think we're going to see Cam come back in pretty soon. He looks like a tough guy out there. I don't think he likes standing on the sidelines watching his friends play.
I do not believe so. The ball at the 34-yard line, 3rd and 3. Quakers trying to keep this drive on the move. One receiver wide left, one slot left. That's Wallace coming in motion. Fossil going to keep the football himself. Run left inside the 35 to the left sideline, inside 30, dragged down from behind at about the Ashland 27-yard line. Tony, I literally pat you on the back. You kind of called that a few plays ago.
I'm usually pretty good about that, but again, that's basic football. It's like you keep going to the well, until you think, hey, I think the defense is going to bite on this, and can we pull it and get it? That time on 3rd and 3, where you need a big third down pickup, you don't want to have to try to convince your guys one more time. This is a long drive. I wish I was keeping track of how many rushes here, but this is probably 10 or 11th play of the drive. Keaton pulls it, comes around the left side, just outruns Caden Van Tilburg for the first down.
Fossil rolling right, completes a pass to Bean right side. Bean to the right sideline, inside the 20, down close to the 15. Looks like they'll mark him out right at about the 15. for another Quaker first down, a gain of about 12, Tony.
Yep, I have the same math, 12. And you can see when Trevor gets the ball in space, man, he is quick. He's got some speed to burn. He's just not been able to really show that burst. He kind of shows that burst in the backfield and all of a sudden puts his head down and has been getting tough yards, runs of 5 and 7 and 4 on this drive. This time, the first time we see him connect with Keaton Fossil, his quarterback, in a little bit of space to pick up that big gain of 12.
They give to Duyne. He'll run right. Sticks his nose inside the 15. Fights inside that seam right side to about the 12. So gain of 3. Second down and 7 as the clock continuing to move here in quarter number 3. I'm Bill Morgan, Tony Van Duyne from beautiful Community Stadium.
A long sustained drive here for New Philadelphia. You know, this is still the opening kickoff. This is still the first drive now inside the 15-yard line with 6:45 to go. They've eaten almost half the third quarter already, Bill.
Now Fossil going to be underneath center for the first time tonight. And
scrap that play. Don't do that one again. That one goes for maybe a gain a yard, maybe no gain.
Interesting.
Well, and this is where the Quakers have had problems, not just in games 1, 2, and 3, but already in game 4 here in the first half. Once you get into the red zone, we talked about neither of these teams really have kickers, so putting 3 points on the board on a 0-0 game is appealing, but no one really wants to do it. So now you're sitting on 3rd and 7. You have an opportunity for New Philadelphia still to pick up a first down here inside the red zone. But when you get a 0 gain on 2nd down, now you're at 3rd and 7. You need to pick up 3 or 4 just to make 4th down manageable.
And it looks like the Quakers are going to ask for and get a timeout. 5:53 to play in the third quarter. Quakers with the ball 3rd and 7 from the Ashland 12. How does this finish? We'll find out after a 60-second timeout on.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Kasasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, you just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Kasasa.
Need your lawn looking its best? Then Clips and Cuts is who you call. We have the knowledge, experience, and passion to create the most beautiful lawns and landscaping for residential and commercial mowing, plus complete landscape installments, landscape design, shrub pruning, and tree trimming. We also specialize in hardscape, offering a variety of patios, retaining walls, water features, and even snow plowing during the winter months. Call Nick Ritchie to schedule your services today.
High school football on Fox Sports 1340.
3rd and 7 from the 12. Fossil rolling left. Gonna have to hurry to try and get it away. Throws it, but incomplete. And now we talked about neither team has successfully converted a field goal all year. Now the Quakers going to try it. Demathon, it'll be about a 29-yard attempt. And now
it's going to be defensive offside. Yeah, they're going to
so now, so now it becomes 4th and 2. And does Mike Johnson send his offense back out onto the field?
I think he's going to. You know, I think he's got a lot of confidence in his kicker. But 4th and 2 inside the 5-yard line, you know, Ashland was a little late trying to run their kick block team on and their defense off. In the process, they lined up inappropriately and lined up offsides, which will give this Quaker offense a free 5 yards. You know, penalties coming back to bite the arrows once again in week 4, and now setting up 4th and 2 inside the 10-yard line.
They basically need to get the nose of the football just inside the 5. Right now, just inside the 7 on the right hash mark. Keaton Fossil underneath center. The last time he was underneath center, that didn't work out. Power formation in the backfield. Fossil going to turn. He's going to roll right, keep the football inside the 5 and gets the first down to about the 1-yard line. So it'll be 1st and goal for the Quakers.
Still just trusting that right side of the offensive line, letting Trevor Bean, the talented running back, kind of be both deception and your lead blocker. Keaton Fossil just kind of booting out to the right, fully intended to be a quarterback run to the outside, setting up first and goal. Ashland really needs a big stand now on the 2-yard line.
First and goal from the 2. The give to Bean, running right into the end zone for an NPTD. Bean with his first rushing touchdown of the season, and New Philadelphia takes a 6-0 lead at the 5:24 mark of the third quarter.
I mean, clearly they have found success with Bean and Fossil running to the right side. Coach Cox and this defensive staff for the Ashland Arrows has to come to the sideline. One, get your guys some rest. Ashland offense is going to have to move the ball. But more importantly, how are you going to stop this offense that just ran to the right, consistently down the field, giving up just the second touchdown for the Quakers all season?
Offside on Ashland on the point after try.
And this moves the point after from the 3-yard line to the 1.5, which again makes me kind of think, does Coach Johnson just run his offense out there and try to pick up another 1.5 yards? But they're going to keep his kicker out there.
So Demuth on to try the point after. It's a high snap, and Quakers will pull it down. And boy, that's pretty close to being a personal foul.
Yeah, just going after that, kick holder. Good job just kind of picking up the fumble. Not sure which arrow that was, but he just kind of dove at him and just kind of laid him out, which makes the score 6-0.
We will keep things here at the 5:24 mark. The first score for either team on the 2-yard Trevor Bean touchdown run for New Philadelphia. Just their second touchdown of the season. The other coming back in the first game of the campaign on a Keaton Fossil touchdown run. 6-0. And now the Ashland offense, and certainly, Tony, while they trail right now, they've showed the ability all season long to be a potent one.
Yeah, they're an explosive offense, and they had lots of opportunities in quarters 1 and 2 to hit open receivers down the field. They had Landon McFrederick, they had Johnny Metzger, they had Colton Johnson open deep. Luke Bryant just kind of overthrowing those guys or kind of missing guys on slant routes. So they've definitely got the opportunity and the talent and all the skills they need to put points on the board, but they've been unable to do it. And this New Philadelphia defense, again, priding themselves on defense all season long, is going to continue to try to make it hard to score points. And with such a long drive, Bill, 6.5 minutes, you have to think Ashland may only get 3 or maybe 4 more possessions in this game. So each one becoming more and more important as we enter the third quarter, with Ashland just its first time to get the ball here with 5:24 to go.
Demuth teeing it up where they do so in high school at the 40. And a nice blast into the Ashland night sky. Ball fielded at the 5 left side. 10, 15, 20. And up to the 24-yard line comes Colton Johnson on about a 19-yard return. Special teamer Carson Long on the tackle. So the Arrows will get the football for the first time here in the third quarter. 2 receivers, wide right, 2 wide left. Spots in the backfield. Bryant, little pitch and a sweep to the right. Across the 25 up to the 29-yard line. So a gain on first down of 6, second down and 4.
Yeah, just a little pitch route again, getting Landon McFrederick running in motion, just a little shuffle pass to get the balls into the hands of your athletes. Landon McFrederick trying to get him on the outside. It almost works like a running play, but if he drops it, it's just an incomplete pass.
The ball to Spots. Comes across the 32 up to the 33. They'll march him to the 34, or mark him, to the 34. That's an Ashland first down.
Yeah, that's just Caden Spots being tough and driving for that last half yard to move the chains. I was almost going to say, this is an important third down, but, thanks to Caden's leg drive and that unrelenting drive, that willingness just to say, I want 1 more yard, I want 1 more yard. He falls forward and moves the chains, which is very much needed here for this Ashland offense.
Hayden set up to the left of Bryant. Bryant getting some pressure from the backside, and he's going to be sacked back at the 27-yard line. The Quaker defense on the pursuit. Thad Van Arsdalen being credited for the sack. Great pursuit. And Van Arsdalen applying that pressure. His first sack of the season for the 6'2" senior backer.
Yeah, I couldn't see who Luke was kind of looking to throw it to. He kind of pump fakes and then realizes he's not there, so he pulls it down, then just has to bail out to the left, and then it's just a leg pursuit, just trying to get away.
Throws the ball over and unable to hang on to it at the 35. Frederick, and so third down and long, 16 to be exact. What do we have for snack at halftime? Was that Jimmy John's?
Jimmy John's, yeah.
That was pretty tasty.
Or no, Jersey Mike's. Sorry.
Was it Jersey Mike's?
Yeah, give credit to where credit's due.
Jersey Mike's. Have you ever noticed it always tastes better when you don't pay for it? Freebie, in other words. Fake the handoff, pass right side, incomplete. So the Quaker defense doing what they wanted to do. It was intended for Grayson Sturry.
Yeah, and a good throw there. I think could have had Grayson picking up a first down, show and run, and even a counter run to spots, offensive guards and tackles pulling, really showing, counter play and then throwing back to the opposite slot side to the slot receiver in Grayson Sturry. But again, Luke Bryant just unable to find a good connection, throws it behind him. Grayson tries to catch it, slides his feet, unable to come down with it, brings Landon McFrederick back out to punt the ball.
Ball booted. Willie Wallace going to field it at his 42. Running left. Wallace across the 45, across midfield, inside the 45. Left sideline for Wallace. 30, 20, and finally forced out of bounds. It looks like they're going to say he stepped out just shy of the 20 at the 21. Boy, a big return for Willie Wallace, and the Quakers knocking on the door of the red zone, already leading 6-0. We see the replay. If you're watching with us on OH.REPORT, and Willie, a very good job. And I guess you always have to credit Tony. Hey, the blocking crew on that. And
yeah, when the punts returns to the left, you have to give all that credit. The job of the returner is one, make the first guy miss and then find your wall. So the team is lining up to the left, trying to seal back, just trying to say, hey, you get to the sideline, we'll keep guys away from you. Willie just finding a lot of room, and that puts the Arrows back already on the 21-yard line, with the Quakers kind of knocking on the door, like you said, already maybe a little exhausted, not a lot of time from that offensive drive to get some changes or get some fluids in them. So Ashland needing to find some sort of stop, currently down 6-0.
Tetzlaw sweeping the ball right, gets to the 20-yard line. A gain of a yard. And a whistle.
His helmet popped off.
So he's going to have to go out for a play.
Yeah, I don't see any penalty flags. So if there's a defensive penalty that caused the helmet to come off, that player can stay. But because there's no penalty, he'll have to step off for one.
Ball be spotted on the Ashland yard line.
Quakers huddle up back at the 25-yard line. The only score of this game coming at the 5:24 mark of this quarter on a Trevor Bean 2-yard touchdown run. 6-0 New Philadelphia. Bean going to get the ball again, run right, inside the 20, inside the 15, puts his shoulder down, and looks like he got to the 10-yard line, which will be a first down and probably a first and goal, depending upon the exact mark of Ye Old Pigskin.
Yeah, they're going to put him right at the 10-yard line. I'm not sure if they're going to make the first down markers still set up and give him an opportunity to get a first down. If it is, it's going to have to be on the inches. So it's essentially first and goal. They marked on the 11, actually.
Yeah,
but a first down.
Right. They can get a first down without scoring a touchdown. Clock moves under 3 minutes to go in quarter number 3. Quakers trying to build the lead. They give to Bean. Bean running right inside the 10, leads ahead to about the 7 1/2. They got close to the right sideline.
Still going to that right side of the line, Bill. There's nothing surprising in what's going on. It's either a sweep to the right, it's a quarterback boot to the right, but they are relying on that right side just to dominate right now Ashland's defense, and right now it's working.
And now the question becomes, Do you keep pounding the ball to Bean, and that may well happen, or do you fake to Bean right, and then Fossil pulls the ball out and goes around the left side?
Yeah, tries that little counter play again. Yeah, definitely have gone away from the passing game because the running game has gone so well, have the Quakers.
Man in motion. They'll hand it off on the jet sweep. Wallace will actually maybe lose a yard on that play. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. Wallace, one of those two-way players for New Philadelphia. And the defensive backfield for Seth Watson, the defensive coordinator for this Quaker team for a long time, under former head coach Matt Dennison, now under new head coach Mike Johnson.
I didn't know that an old Quaker head coach, the name of Woody Hayes, 1938 to 1940.
That? Now don't look at me like don't look at me like I was doing the games back in 38.
I didn't say that. I was just impressed. Man, that's an impressive head coach.
Fossil rolling right, throws the ball toward the end zone, and it'll be incomplete. And certainly the history of Woody Hayes at New Philadelphia, the stadium is named after him, Woody Hayes Quaker Stadium.
I did not know that.
He grew up in the southern end of the county, Newcomers Town. Now, in the interest of full disclosure, I've lived in New Philadelphia for 20 plus years, but.
Looks like Quakers are running out their kicking team. This just about 7 yards deeper than a point after attempt. So they're looking to add on the 6-point lead. If they could put this up, this would put them up 2 scores, which has been difficult for Ashland to move the ball and get any points at this point in the game.
A 27-yard attempt by Demuth. The ball is down. His kick is up. Inside the right upright and good. So as Tony alluded to, New Philadelphia does indeed make this a 2-score game. 1:24 to play before the end of the third. It's New Philadelphia 9, Ashland scoreless on Fox Sports 1340.
Free gold. The Cosby Senior Football Player has a Raven and recently scored 4 touchdowns and recorded 1 tackle in the game. And real agent insurance agency in Ashland in Norwalk gets the personal touch that sets them apart, whether it's auto, home, life, business, motorcycle, or ATV insurance. Using the power of choice with a wide variety of policies and price points. The power of expertise. And you get the power of service with a friendly staff literally available. If you located review your current coverage or a good but coverage get a free quote at insurance.com.
The Ashland Arrows and Ashland Eagles play here on Fox Sports 1340.
Demuth kicked the ball off for the Quakers, leading 9-0. That ball going to go down the field, be fielded near the left sideline at the 15, across the 20, 24, 25-yard line, and push back a bit. But Colton Johnson on the return to mark his forward progress to the 25. And Tony, for you having seen this talented Ashland team, 2-1 on the year, all season long, what do they have to do here in the latter stages of the third quarter, moving into the fourth quarter, try and get what is clearly a powerful offense shifted into gear?
Yeah, the passing game just hasn't been there tonight for Luke Bryant. You know, he's sitting at 10 for 25. I'm not sure he has a completion yet. Maybe he completed one early in the third quarter, but you know, this is just the second possession for the Ashland offense. He just seems out of rhythm. The receivers seem like they're getting a little frustrated. You got to kind of have to put all that behind you. You have to just think, hey, one possession at a time, get some points, catch the ball, which we see an incompletion there. Again, hits his hands and unable to bring it down. You just have to start to take one play at a time and start moving the chains, and things will come together. But you start looking at the scoreboard and you start to get a little bit of panic of we got to go. And then all of a sudden you start to make mistakes.
Tried to put it on the hands of Sturry, and Sturry couldn't quite rein it in. 2nd and 10 for the Arrows. Ball in the middle of the field here at Community Stadium on the 25. Ryan going to screen it out, and dropping the ball is, continuing to have struggles hanging on to the football. At least at this point in time, Landon McFrederick.
Yeah, so, I'm not keeping track of drops, but, you know, there are as many drops as there are bad throws. And when they come together, all of a sudden the quarterback's frustrated because the good throws aren't getting caught, and the receivers are frustrated because there aren't always good throws. Now setting up 3rd and 10, down 9 points with 1:08 to go in the third quarter. Ashland needs to find something, especially with the Quakers scoring in back-to-back drives here in the third quarter.
A 9-0 New Philadelphia advantage. Bryant with the snap, looking long down the right sideline, and that pass off the hand of the intended receiver, Colton Johnson. Now, Johnson did get his right hand on that, but the ball was a little bit long. And for the Ashland fans watching on OH.REPORT.com, as you see the replay and narrowly missing a long completion or listening to us on iHeartRadio, while clearly the momentum in favor of New Philadelphia, all it's going to take is one big play for Ashland to be right back in this game.
We just haven't been able to get it. Even on that play, Colton Johnson, 2 yards ahead of him, he leads him out there. He throws a nice ball to Luke Bryant, but when you just can't make the completion, it doesn't matter. So that drive there, 3 passing plays, 3 incompletions, 2 drops, and 1 just overshot leads to another punt. And now the Quakers fumble.
Wallace fumbles it again, falls on it. Now a penalty flag was thrown late.
Penalty flag on the play.
We'll see whether that. Now Ashland had a man come on the field late, but we'll see what the call is. Is it on the Arrows? Is it on the Quakers? False start. I guess if you're New Philadelphia, you make them kick it again.
Yeah, you get the opportunity, because the muff punt and ended up going backwards. Willie Wallace dropping his second one. I'm sure, the coaching staff's got to be worried about that. But they're likely going to make Ashland run back out here and kick it one more time, try to set up a return. Willie Wallace had a nice return just the last time he punted. So why not let that punt return team go back out there and do it one more time? But it looks like they're just going to take the 5-yard penalty. Not what I would do.
I'd make him kick it again, but again, we're broadcasters. We're not coaches.
Well, this Quakers offense has been so dominant. In some ways, the longer the drive needs to be, maybe Coach Johnson's thinking, hey, scoot me back even more because I'm just going to eat clock. This is the 3rd possession now for New Philadelphia. Ashland's had no success on their 2 drives. The Quakers have scored twice, a touchdown and a field goal. They like the field position of, hey, give us more room to run. Let us have more time to keep your offense off the field, and we will win a very low-scoring game again here in Week 4.
1st and 10 Quakers after the penalty mark-off on Ashland from the New Philadelphia 37-yard line. Fossil in that pistol formation that's familiar to Quaker fans. Bean standing to his right. A man in motion from left to right. The handoff going to go to Jordy Delacruz. The speedy junior brings the ball across the 40 and even more as he gets very close to midfield. The quick hitter to Delacruz, and they'll put him down at the 48. It's a gain of 11 for Jordy.
Using jet motion, getting that guy going from left to right, timing the snap just as he's kind of reaching the left tackle, taking the snap, handing it off to a guy running full speed. That defense has to react a little bit quicker to get that outside sealed up.
Bean going to run right. A penalty flag going to fly in after Trevor gains 2, and that's normally in the vicinity where you get a holding.
Yeah, that might be the best thing that's happened to the Arrows all third quarter is to say we actually got a holding penalty and we can move them backwards because nothing else. There has been no tackles for loss. There's been no tackles for 0. This Quaker team is getting gains of 10, 7, 5, 6, 12. They're getting chunks, but this time the Quakers get called for holding, going to move them back and set up now a 1st and 20. And a great opportunity for the defense here for Ashland to actually get the ball back.
The back judge, Kasim Hamed, throwing in that penalty flag, didn't hesitate. And Quakers aren't arguing. That usually tells you something right there.
That you're guilty, right?
Indeed. But as they say, and I tend to agree with this, I think sometimes people think it's exaggerated. You could call offensive holding on almost every play.
I agree. Yeah, you actually teach offensive linemen to hold, but you just want to hold inside the frame, not outside.
Right. Fossil sweeping left, and he's drilled for a loss in the backfield.
Yeah, Parker Grissinger from that inside linebacker finally finding someone running into that C gap, running that lane. He kind of sees a couple of offensive linemen overlooking him, but he kind of fills that gap in a hurry and gets the first tackle for a loss. So back-to-back positive plays. The penalty, I'll take that as a positive defensive play here for the Arrows. Now a tackle for a loss, setting up 2nd and 24. No defensive penalties here, guys. Let's keep it clean. We're going to end the third quarter, but we're going to come back with the Arrows trailing 0-9.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Kasasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, you just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Kasasa.
Need your lawn looking its best? Then Clips and Cuts is who you call. We have the knowledge, experience, and passion to create the most beautiful lawns and landscaping for residential and commercial mowing, plus complete landscape installments, landscape design, shrub pruning, and tree trimming. We also specialize in hardscape, offering a variety of patios, retaining walls, water features, and even snow plowing during the winter months. Call Nick Ritchie to schedule your services today.
Fossil back to pass, running to his left, looking, lost the ball down the middle of the field, incomplete. So 4th down, and the Quakers will have to punt 9 seconds into the 4th quarter.
Shawnee Dietz almost wide open there right at the sticks. He was going to need to pick up another 10 yards. So even if he could have come down with that, he probably had a lot of work to do. But going to set up 4th and 24. The Quakers having a little bit of problems earlier on their punt snaps. We'll have to see here if Ashland wants to put a little bit more pressure on. But Johnny Metzger, also the lightning fast receiver and punt returner, back for the Arrows.
Good snap this time to Curtis Tetzloff. A line drive kick that'll bounce at the 37 and take a fairly decent Quaker roll inside the 30 and down at the 26-yard line. And one of the things I love about high school football, whether we're talking Ashland, whether we're talking New Philadelphia, whether we're talking other teams in the OCC, so many players, Tony, go all the way on the field all the time. Downing that, hustling down on special teams was, I think, the guy you would call New Philadelphia's star offensively tonight, Trevor Bean. So Bean hustling down, downing that ball, and whether you're the Arrows, whether you're the Quakers, you want your best 11 on the field, offense, defense, special teams.
Yeah, Ashland talked early in the season about really wanting to have no guys going both ways, but when you get down to it, you want your best players out there all the time. You end up getting 3 or 4 guys that are going both ways almost in all schools.
Screen pass to the right, incomplete. Luke Bryant. Now with his team facing 2nd and 10. We've mentioned it a couple of times. I want to be sure to mention it again here in the 4th quarter. Nathan Bernhard, the talented freshman, out with an injury and probably will remain out, unfortunately, for several weeks. So that's why you have not heard his name tonight. And boy, when you look at his numbers coming into the game, the one that really jumps out at you, a 73% completion percentage on passes. So you're going to miss that. Bryant back to pass, throws the ball over the middle. It's complete across the 45 of Ashland, and Johnny Metzger. Metzger, his team's leading receiver all season long and leading receiver tonight. So a big play for the Arrows gives them 1st down near midfield. 9-0 New Philadelphia, 11:32 to go in regulation. The ball officially marked at the Arrows 49-yard line. They look to the sideline for a play to be signaled in. Looks like a little bit of confusion. 3 receivers for the Arrows go wide right, 2 wide left. Spots in motion. He'll take the handoff and run it right. No, keeping the ball. Bryant across the 50, 45, 40, and shoved out of bounds into the Ashland bench inside the 40-yard line. Boy, everybody, including your play-by-play guy, thought Spots was going to keep it. Bryant kept it in a big play for the Arrows, Tony.
Yeah, big rush for 13. Their best running play of the game all night long. They've been handing that ball to Spots off that motion, even kind of that pitch play to Landon McFrederick, getting him outside. Finally, they kind of fake that draw counter play to Caden Spots. Luke Bryant pulls it, gets around the corner on the left side for a big gain of 13. Good momentum here for the Arrows.
Bryant dropping back to pass, throws the ball incomplete. Looked like that might have got deflected. I'm not sure. Bryant took a hit after passing the ball.
Bryant's pass is incomplete.
So 2nd down and 10 for the Arrows.
Luke Bryant now 11 for 31 passing. He just went over the century mark, just 100 yards passing, but that's not great numbers here for the Arrows. They're used to putting up 200 and 300 yards. I think, Johnny Metzger himself had almost a 200-yard receiving game on week 1. So Ashland receivers used to getting a lot more balls, a lot more touches, still trying to find their offensive flow here down 9-0 early in the 4th quarter.
Spots motioning from left to right. They throw the ball long down the right side of the field, and as that ball caught, no, it tumbles to the ground. Oh, a penalty flag. Did I see a penalty flag flying?
Yeah, but I don't know who that's going to go on, and it looks like
pass interference on New Philadelphia.
Wow. 2 Ashland receivers standing in the same spot, really on the 5-yard line. Luke Bryant drops back. I'm not sure who he was going to. He putting too much air on the ball. 2 guys there, 2 defenders. It was really just a pile of humanity.
I'm not real sure about that call, to be completely honest, but
I will take it as an Arrows fan. I'll
for sure. So that's an automatic 1st down as the ball moves further into Quaker territory. 10:51 to go in the 4th quarter. New Philadelphia with a 9-0 lead. They mark the penalty off. It's a 1st down. They put the football down on the left hash mark at the 23.
I think this is the best field position that the Arrows have had all game. Usually when they hit the 30-yard line, they end up throwing an interception. So just getting across the 30-yard line is improvement here for the Arrows.
The ball lofted toward the end zone, incomplete.
Johnny Metzger, they're double covered. I think he had that, again, predetermined. He thought he was going to have man-to-man coverage, but by the time he gets that ball launched back there, he's got a man deep and a safety coming short. I'm not sure Johnny was going to have any chance there. Luke Bryant now 11 for 32, still at 100 yards passing.
Incompletion, putting the stop on the clock at Community Stadium. 10:46 to go. Quakers leading 9-0, but the Arrows on the move. They're going to throw the ball and caught inside the 15, down to the 10, inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. 1st and goal, Ashland.
To Grayson Sturry.
Grayson Sturry on the catch. Ashland High School football on Fox Sports 1340, delivered by Truax Printing, your full-service commercial printing source here in Ashland and Loudonville. TruaxPrinting.com. 1st and goal.
Landon McFrederick here in quarterback here on a heavy running set.
He's going to keep the ball left side around a tackler at the 10 to 5, dives to the pylon, and they're going to say touchdown. An 8-yard touchdown run.
Landon McFrederick, quarterback, won last year with Nathan Bernhard, the freshman, being down. I talked to the coaching staff, and they said Landon will come in on heavy run sets. Once we get inside the 20, we're going to put our talented wide receiver / tight end. Now he's a quarterback. This time just going around the left-hand side saying, hey, I'm going to one out run you to the corner. I'm going to put my shoulder down into that pylon to get Ashland onto the board. 6 points with a point coming.
Point after try is up, and it's good. So we go from a 9-point Quaker advantage to a great drive by Ashland. Cuts the lead down the 2 at 9-7.
Yeah, and Bill, you asked, what do they need to do? What does an Ashland typical offense looks like? And there it was, that was really 4 big plays. A nice pass to Johnny Metzger for 21, a pass to Story for 15, a pass interference because this offensive passing attack is a threatening one. You get another 15, and then Landon runs it in for 9. So Ashland has the ability to score points and score points quickly. That one coming with under 2 minutes of time run off the clock. So hopefully that puts a little bit of energy back into the Orange defense and say, hey, we need one more time, maybe 2 more stops from this powerful Quaker offense. You need to stop them. We need to get the ball back, and we're going to put up more points and still come out away with a W here, Bill.
So we will see if the Quaker offense can answer. Boy, great job by Ashland that time.
When it works, right? And unfortunately for Ashland, for 3 quarters, it just wasn't working. Incomplete passes, overthrown passes. And again, a lot of not wide open receivers, but receivers that got distance on go routes, on corner routes, on slant routes. Finally, Luke Bryant finding that rhythm that he needs with his receivers. And it feels good, I'm sure, for all Arrow fans to hear 7 points on the board.
So Ashland will boot the ball away, trailing by only a pair, 9-7. A nice long kickoff that Wallace will field a yard deep in the end zone. And anytime on a kick play, if the ball breaks the play into the end zone, the play is dead. You can't return it even if you wanted to.
I did not know that, Bill. That's a great insight. I was actually surprised that Willie Wallace was going to bring that out. He was 2 or 3 yards deep, and he had full intentions of bringing it out. So a very confident young man in high school taking a kickoff 4 yards into the end zone and trying to run it out. But good job by the officials and you as well, Bill. You know, knowing the rules, calling it dead, bringing the ball out to the 20-yard line where the Quakers will take over.
You know what? I will say this. Over the years of doing these games, I've learned to quit speculating on officials' calls. Now, that one I knew for a fact was correct.
It feels great. It feels great when you're right.
That one was right, but most of the time I keep it sealed, waiting for the officials to decide. 1st and 10 Quakers from their own 20-yard line. Man in motion, jet sweep left to Wallace, and Wallace gains maybe a yard. So perhaps for the Quakers to that particular well, one too many times.
Yeah, good job by the Arrow defense, you know, not continuing to just look to the run to the right by Trevor Bean. But I'm surprised that the Quakers have gone away from that. That has been so successful. I'm not sure why you're trying to do jet sweeps to the left or quarterback runs to the right. You know, find the ball, give it to number 3. Let that big offensive line on the right side kind of crash down again. But good job by the Arrows. Looks like they got a little bit more energy, a little bit more swag out there. Let's see if they can get another tackle for a loss and make 3rd down difficult.
Keaton Fossil, the sophomore quarterback, gives to Bean. Bean running left, puts his shoulder down, pushes the pile, left sideline, out of bounds, about the 24 to the Quakers sideline. The east sideline, if you will, here at Community Stadium.
That's good directional awareness, Bill. That's a good job.
Well, the only reason I know that is when my wife dropped me off for the game, the sun was shining behind the press box here. So anybody who's broadcast games with me, Tony, would say he's not the brightest guy in the world, but the sun going down, I knew that was west.
That game for 3 is going to set up 3rd and 6, a big one here for Ashland. Back on the 25-yard line in New Philadelphia. If they can stop them from getting 6 yards, they're going to get a punt here and probably still good field position if the defense can stand strong.
Fossil takes the snap, rolling right, getting pressure from the backside. He's going to run it. He's going to pick up the 1st down, 30, and move beyond the sophomore quarterback, slides at the 35 instead of taking a shot.
Yeah, you really don't see a slide in high school football. Most of these kids are just tough kids, and they're excited to take a hit. But good job by the sophomore kind of realizing, hey, I got what I needed. I don't need to fight for extra yardage. We got the lead. Just go down and go back to 1st down. So a wise play, again, Bill, not one that we actually usually see a quarterback sliding, or at least not a quarterback that's the prototypical 6'5" with a college scholarship already on the line.
Well, safety for Ashland, Caden Van Tilburg was getting ready to come up there and lay the hammer on him. And Caden said, I think I'll take a slide down here. Hand off to Bean. Bean running left side this time and goes across the 40-yard line to about the 41.
Yeah, giving up about 6 yards on that play. Ashland's going to have to find some will to stop this Quaker offense. You know, with 8 minutes to go, this could be a very long, sustained drive if Ashland doesn't put together 3 defensive plays together. This time picking up 6, like I said, setting up 2nd and 4. That's a very easy down and distance for a running team that only now needs to get 2 yards per play. So Obviously, you're not going to give up on second down. You're going to try for a tackle for a loss. Coach Cox is going to, I think, continue to bring pressure, continue to entice this Quaker quarterback to be a passing quarterback and try to stop this running game.
This time, Bean will try and run right across the 40, across the 45, approaching the 50 before he's forced down. And now the Quakers alternating left side, right side. The left side on the previous play, they've got a big left tackle over there. And Boston Crowell, 6'5", 230 and a sophomore. And this time they went back to that right side with Cam Clarkson and Garrett Dillon Ryan.
One of the defensive staff for Ashland that has to be just, beaming mad. You put a guy on a blitz, the perfect spot. Johnny Metzger just misses him, misses the tackle for a loss. All of a sudden, he's bounced out. He's now at the line of scrimmage. Another Ashland arrow gets a missed tackle. He goes for another 4 yards. Another guy misses a tackle. So 3 missed tackles there by Ashland. You got to clean it up, fellas, here in the fourth quarter.
Well, the Quakers go to that jet sweep, and the Arrows with great pursuit defensively as Wallace came in motion from right to left. They hammer that for a 5-yard loss.
Yeah, finally, Parker Grissom or Gunnar Lacey getting into that backfield, causing chaos. Don't let those offensive linemen who are now a little step slower on their pulls, only because it's been a long game. It's the fourth quarter. You've been running the ball a lot. Typically, you see these offensive guard and offensive tackles, and when they pull, they're sprinting down that line. And for a big 250-pound guy, they're moving as well as you can imagine. These guys are starting to wear down, so they're going a little bit slower. There's gaps for the linebackers to shoot through. Good job by the Arrow defense for tackle for loss.
2nd and 15. Fossil going to run it. Going to throw the ball after deciding, you know what, I think I will not run it, and completes it to the 45 of Ashland. And spinning inside the 45, Dan DiDonato.
Yeah, and right when you think Ashland kind of has them pinned back a little bit, you let them throw a pass for a gain of 12 to bring up 3rd and 2. Still an important down and distance, right at that midfield spot. The Quakers could punt if they don't pick this up, or they could go for it. So an important play to get a tackle for a loss, or at least don't let them get a yard or two, and allow Coach Mike Johnson the opportunity to go for it on 4th down.
As we approach the midway point of the fourth quarter, 6:15 to play, 3rd down and 2. What can the Arrows defense do here? The handoff and running straight ahead and not getting the first down as the Ashland defense surging. And
yeah, Trevor Bean's going to probably pick up half of what he needed. 3rd and 2. They're going to give him 1, so they're going to put the sticks right at 4th and 1, which puts a big question for the Quakers. Obviously, they've ran the ball well, but with the lead, 2-point lead with under 6 minutes to go, it's also tempting just to punt it back and say, hey, let my defense, the pride and joy of my team, kind of win this for me. We'll have to see what Coach Johnson does here.
Now, looks like they're going to go for it. Fossil went to the sideline, got the play call from the NPHS second-year head coach. Fossil underneath center, that power look. 2 up backs in the backfield, 1 back deep. The give, running straight ahead, first down for the Quakers and more. Inside the 30, inside the 25, 20, 15, 10, NPTD. Trevor Bean on a 42-yard touchdown run. And a penalty flag flies in late. I think that's going to be an excessive celebration on the Quakers.
I don't know. There's a penalty all the way back at the 29-yard line. I have no idea. Trevor Bean actually ran into his own offensive player. It actually was the only thing that slowed him down. Other than that, he almost ran untouched 42 yards, the longest rush for the Quakers this season. We'll check with the officials. They're going to call it a touchdown and then unsportsmanlike on Quakers.
Now, you'd have to let's see if we can see as we watch the replay. Well, of course, OH.REPORT doing a good job of following Trevor Bean. Sometimes I think the officials get a tad too carried away. I mean, what do you want a kid to not be excited on a 42-yard touchdown run?
Yeah, and the officials are going to go over here to Sean Cedar and ask if they want it on the extra point, 15-yard penalty, or if they want it on the kickoff. Looks like Sean's going to say, go ahead and let him kick it from the 3, give him the extra point, and let our offense take another 15 on the kickoff. So,
well, this extra point becomes absolutely critical because if the Quakers convert it, then it becomes something you talked about earlier, Tony. It becomes a 2-score game again.
Yeah, it's amazing that difference between being up 8 points. The difference between 7, 8, and 9 is such an emotional difference that if you're up 7, that's just 1 score and an extra point. Most teams should be able to put that together. An 8-point would be obviously the touchdown and a 2-point conversion. It's like, well, gosh, we have to get into the end zone twice. at least the second time you're on the 3-yard line for just the extra point, and then going for 9. So Sean Cedar actually is going to back them up. Now it's not from an extra point from the 3-yard line. They're going to move them back to the 18-yard line and make this extra point a 35-yard attempt. Probably a wise choice by the Ashland head coach.
Out of the hold of Carson Long, P.D. DiDonato, the long snapper.
Oh, false start on the Quakers. That's going to do another 5. Now you're not good kicking an extra point from 35. You're going to have to kick it from 40. Very fortunate for Ashland. Yeah, keeping this just as a one possession game, currently at 15-7 after that touchdown, still with an extra point pending.
So they move the tee back, put it down.
That's a pretty good kick, Bill, right? 40 yards for, most high school kickers.
And I think, and people say, well, he ought to be able to make that. Go stand at the 30 and see how small the goalposts look when you're 40 yards away.
Yeah,
Demuth, the right-footed kicker. Long will hold again. DiDonato will snap. The kick is long, and
it just sails left.
Wide left.
A great distance, though. Man, that was going to be good for another 10 yards. So distance, not the problem for the Quakers, just a little bit of accuracy, which keeps this a one-possession game, Bill, 15-7 with 5:23 to go here in the fourth.
We are going to take a bonus timeout. New Philadelphia leading Ashland 15-7, but the Arrows have the football when we come back with 5:23 to play on Fox Sports 1340.
Need your lawn looking its best? Then Clips and Cuts is who you call. We have the knowledge, experience, and passion to create the most beautiful lawns and landscaping for residential and commercial mowing, plus complete landscape installments, landscape design, shrub pruning, and tree trimming. We also specialize in hardscape, offering a variety of patios, retaining walls, water features, and even snow plowing during the winter months. Call Nick Ritchie to schedule your services today.
So much more for us. Programs for all teams.
Quakers to kick it off for their touchdown.
Ensign Blues. Fox Sports 1340.
Philadelphia to kick it off after a Trevor Bean 42-yard touchdown run. They lead 15-7. The ball fielded left side 9, 10, 20, 25, 30. And
and a hit. That's got to be a penalty. They're going to get it. Late hit out of bounds. Landon McFrederick just kind of gliding out on the 35, and two Quakers kind of lay him out. He's going to get another 15, which is going to move it over midfield. Just a massive mistake for the Quakers here. Already up one possession.
So, personal foul on the Quakers. And as Tony said, they'll mark that off 15. And you've got to play smarter football than that.
Yeah, you have to know the situation of the game, that, you're excited that you just scored. You're excited. Some of these guys maybe are only doing kickoff coverage or kick return, and they want to make that big play. But you have to understand that you're up one possession. Your defense is playing great. This Ashland offense has the potential to be very powerful and very potent. Don't give them extra free yards, and the kick coverage team does just that. Officials mark it from the original spot, and they're going to walk it off.
It'll be up at the 48-yard line by the time they set this football down. So, possession near midfield for Sean Cedar's team, trailing by 8, 15-7, 5:17 to play in the fourth quarter.
Expect Ashland just to continue to be aggressive here. Two running backs. First time we've seen that all night. No tight ends, but continue to see Luke Bryant just drop back and fire the ball. Ashland's going to want to try to score as quick as possible.
Pass complete inside the 45, down to the 40.
Good out route there by Grayson Sturry. Pick up a 14. looks like New Philadelphia dropping back even more guys, even deeper. They're really playing a defense that looks like a cover two, not wanting to go up that big play, but that gives up passes of 10 and then yards after catch of another 9. So, or 5, 14, 15-yard pickup puts Ashland on New Philadelphia side of the field.
At the 37, Bryant going to throw the ball long down the right sideline and nearly picked off, and Quakers back defensively that time. That nearly might have been offensive pass interference.
I'm kind of with you. Yeah, I was trying to get Landon McFrederick deep, just running stride for stride with a Quaker. Landon, I think, maybe got away with one, or at least he turned on his defensive back brain to say, hey, I know I'm not going to get that, but I need to make sure my defender doesn't get that either. So ends up just being an incompletion, but Landon a little shaken up.
Looks like Dakota McCune back in coverage for New Philadelphia. Clock stop because of the incompletion. 4:49 to go. Quakers up 15-7. You would never know by looking at the scoreboard now. This is a scoreless game in the first half. Bryant back to pass, looking downfield, running to his right. Lost it toward the right sideline, and I don't know if that ball might have got tipped or... Yeah, they credit Connor Tetzloff with the tip. That big 6'4" frame got one of those hands up and knocked it down.
A flood concept. If you ever played Madden, or if you're listening and you don't know what it is, go ask your kid, because they know what the flood concept is. One guy goes deep, one guy goes 10 yards out, another guy just goes to the flat, and you're trying to find different levels on that defense. Everyone on the right side of the field, though, no one to the left. Good job by the New Philadelphia team, just kind of easing into their zones, not allowing Luke Bryant to find anyone. He just throws it away, brings up 3rd and 10.
A back in the backfield, 3 receivers right. Bryant will look right. He'll throw the ball. It's going to be complete. Breaking out of a tackle inside the 35 to the 30-yard line into the New Philadelphia bench right sideline.
Yeah, they're going to give Johnny Metzger the completion in yards, maybe 6 yards, which is still going to bring up an important 4th and 4. You know, Johnny just understanding I need to get yards, but I also need to get the clock stop. So good job by Johnny getting what he can. A really big 4th down here with 4:34 to go in the 4th quarter.
Well, and no question they have to go for it, down by 8 with only 4:34 to play. The entire Ashland offense looking to the sideline for the play call from 4th-year head coach John Cedar and his staff.
Down to 6 seconds on the play clock. So Coach Cedar's going to take a timeout. Not sure if Coach just didn't know what play he wanted or if the guys didn't get lined up soon enough, but they're going to take a timeout and at least talk about it because they weren't ready.
15-7, Ashland trailing but on the move. Each week throughout the high school sports season, we will select the iHeart Radio Athlete of the Week, presented by the Neil Cady Insurance Agency of Ashland and Norwalk, specializing in auto, home, life, and business insurance. Get a free quote. NeilCadyInsurance.com. That's Neil, K-A-D-E-Y, insurance.com. See photos and read all about our athletes at WMANFM.com.
I think we named a Crestview Cougar last week, Athlete of the Week, Addison Raymer. You may have heard that name. He's been an incredible athlete for them. 4 touchdowns and 10 defensive tackles. He was just all over the field. Again, go back to that two-way player. Congratulations to Addison on that award.
4th and 5 from the Quaker 32. Ashland needs the 27 on this 4th down for first down. Bryant throws the ball. It's complete. First down, Arrows inside the 25, down to the 23 on the completion to Grayson Sturry.
Yeah, well, when you need it, he comes up big. Luke Bryant just sitting back there nice and tall. 5 receivers all running 7-yard curls. Get enough yards, turn around. I'm going to hit the open guy, find the guy in the zone. A good play call, a good throw, and finally a good catch. Ashland finally getting it together, moving the chains.
Spots in motion out of the backfield from left to right. Bryant going to loft the ball toward the end zone. Got a man open. And is he able to hang on to it? No, incomplete in the front right corner of the end zone for the Arrows.
I think that's going to be Grayson Sturry again, trying to get him in the corner of the end zone, just using his speed, running that corner route. He gets a hand on it and just can't hold on to it going to the ground. Not sure if it bounced free once he hit the ground, but setting up 2nd down and 10 here for Ashland.
The ball out the 23, so you'll use every down you have because you have to have a touchdown here if you're the Arrows.
Yeah, And I like the sense of urgency because I think even if you can score, you want to be able to maybe have another opportunity, but you have to play slow enough and smart enough to get the first one.
Pass complete to the 16-yard line, leaning ahead to the 15.
Grayson Sturry again on
that
out route. Two running backs, a little bit more attention into the backfield, just a little 8-yard out route. Grayson Sturry having to go up. Good job using both hands, making sure he has possession as he goes down, setting up a big 3rd and 2.
3rd down and 2. Sturry that time with the speed advantage on Quaker linebacker Thad Van Arsdalen.
Yeah, almost unfair to ask a linebacker to cover a wideout, right?
I'm sure Thad would fully agree. And spot straight ahead. He's got a 1st down and more inside the 10 as he ran it right side down to the 6-yard line.
A big run of 8 there for Caden Spots. Almost gave up on their run. Have the Ashland Arrows on this drive in all second half going back to it when they need it, though. Once that defense starts widening out, you got to go back to the run. Good job by Spots.
Handoff on 1st down.
I think that was back to Spots. I'm not sure who.
I believe it was.
Another pickup of 4.
A gain of a couple of yards down to the 6, 2nd and goal. So the Arrows trying to find the end zone, then they would need the 2-point conversion. But first things first, Luke Bryant, the junior quarterback, takes a look at the Quaker defense. Brings the man in motion. Bryant fakes the handoff, goes to the end zone. Touch! Overthrown. Now he had his man open.
Yeah, just a one-man route. Johnny Metzger running the post route, threw it over 3 or 4 feet. Wasn't even an opportunity to come down with that. Johnny Metzger, a very talented receiver, has some offers already from Division II schools. You just need to get it close to Johnny. He's going to come down with it. That one well over Metzger's head.
3rd down and 6. Bryant, 6 yards deep in the backfield, takes the snap, looking toward the end zone, lost it there, incomplete.
That one tipped at the line of scrimmage, trying to go back to Johnny Metzger, but not sure who got the hand on it. We'll have to take a look here on the replay, but one of the defensive linemen, good job just getting a hand up, deflecting that thing.
So 4th down and goal. This could be the play of the game. It's touchdown or turn the ball over on downs to visiting New Philadelphia. They lead this game 15-7, 2:53 to play in the 4th quarter. Play clock down to 5. Looks like Ashland will utilize a timeout, and they will.
Yeah, you named it, Bill. This is the play of the game. 4th and 6, you have to get the touchdown. Being down 8 points with 2:53, you're more than likely not going to get the ball back. Or if you do, you're going to get the ball back with very little time and no timeout. So you need to find a play that's going to get you 6 yards. No questions about it.
So the Arrows huddled up about 10 yards onto the field near the 20-yard line along the numbers with their head coach.
I would think you're going either to number 1, Landon McFrederick, or number 21, Johnny Metzger. Obviously, Grayson Sturry is another option. Colton Johnson, very reliable. But when it comes down to it, Ashland Arrows have 2 favorite targets. Luke Bryant has to make 1 good throw here. Doesn't matter about the 2-point conversion being down 8. At this point, you just have to get points on the board on this possession on the 6-yard line.
Interestingly enough, 2 backs in the backfield. 2 receivers wide right. 1 wide left. Bryant calling for the football. Throws it toward the end zone. Incomplete. Unable to hang on to it in the end zone. For the Arrows, and the Quakers going to get him to turn the ball over on downs.
I think that's going to just go for as a drop. Luke Bryant firing one to Grayson Sturry in the end zone on the slant route. He was there. Maybe the pass was too low. It's either a bad pass or a drop, but, unfortunate for the Arrows, going to bring the defense back out now with 2:48 to go and just 1 timeout. Quakers don't have to put a whole lot together to end this game.
Now, if the Quakers can get a 1st down or 2, They can run out the clock, but they've got a problem both teams had in the first half was taking care of the football. And now New Philadelphia needs to do that because they are at their own 6-yard line. And believe me, Ashland's going to be in there punching and grabbing and trying to poke that football out. The handoff, Quakers run it right side.
Bean on the carry.
Trevor Bean, and gain of a couple of yards, and one of the Quakers slow to get up. That's that big right offensive tackle, Garrett Dillon Ryan.
Trevor Bean with the best game of his season so far, 24 carries, 128 yards. He finally found pay dirt this season. He did have the one fumble, but they've really ridden Trevor Bean all night long. When it came down to it on that 4th and 1, Bean busting free of it for that 42-yard jaunt to the end zone for his second touchdown. You'd have to imagine that New Philadelphia is just going to run the ball here in the last 2.5.
Dillon Ryan up, and he may just simply be exhausted. And you're thinking to yourself, well, you got to be able to be well-conditioned, and you got to be able to go off. Listen, it's 80-plus degrees. It's hotter than that on the turf, even as the evening has cooled down. So easier said than done, especially when you're sitting home in the air conditioning. So Dillon Ryan, long, slow walk off with Quaker trainer Todd Steele.
Yeah, Quaker coach Mike Johnson also using this as an opportunity just for a quick timeout. The officials trying to urge the Quakers to come back on the field, but Coach Johnson taking the opportunity to talk to the guys, make sure everyone knows their responsibility, probably just telling the running backs, hey, cover that ball. I'd rather you fall down not fighting for extra yards in this moment than fight for extra yards and turn over the ball.
Sure.
Via fumble.
Clock back to rolling, 2:24 and counting. New Philadelphia leading 15-7. 2nd and 7 from their own 9-yard line, and Fossil going to look at the play clock and use every last second of it before he calls for the snap of the football from senior center Bryant Corns. Calls for the ball. Fossil going to keep it around the left side, cross the 10, get up to the 14 before he's wrapped up and brought down on the play. That'll bring up 3rd and short for the visiting black and red of New Philadelphia.
Brings up 3rd down
and I think this is where Ashland has to stick them, because if the Quakers pick up a 1st down, I think you can run the clock out.
Yeah, 3rd and 2, you're right. You got to bring 7, bring everyone who's not covering a guy in the secondary. No reason that the Quakers are going to throw here, so I wouldn't even worry about a pass. You've got to get a stop. 2 yards is what the Quakers need to seal this. 1 knee would do it. So this is the final play for the Ashland defense if they can't come up with a stop of less than 2 yards.
Fossil calling, people just jumping all over the place. I'm not sure if that was the Quakers.
That's going to be, I think, on the offense.
Penalty flag on the play.
Well, and again, mistakes you simply cannot make.
Yeah, 3rd and 2, you have the opportunity to seal it. If you're on the other side, if you're New Philadelphia, just seal it with a 2-yard run. False start, you know those arrows are coming down. Those linebackers are jumping. That offensive line just has to continue to hold there. But a good job, an opportunity time here for the Arrows. Now 3rd and 7, a much easier opportunity to get a stop. But this offense has to be ready with some plays already in mind to get points with under a minute to go.
Do the Quakers dare throw a pass here?
I can't imagine.
Fossil, hands off and running straight ahead and going absolutely nowhere, if anything, losing a yard. Trevor Bean.
Well, now we'll do some quick math, Bill. 25-second play clock and 1:10 to go. So Quakers had some problems punting. Again, one of the opportunities that Ashland had that they kind of wasted away was a fumble on a punt snap where Ashland got the ball inside the 20. They didn't have the opportunity to get points off that drive. I would imagine Ashland's going to come with a lot of pressure, try to make a mistake here, but Ashland will have an opportunity, at least with under a minute to go, to put their offense back on the field, score a touchdown, and get that 2-point conversion to tie this thing up before we see 3 zeros.
Ashland utilizes, Tony, what we believe is their final timeout.
I believe so. Yeah, I think we took 2 offensive timeouts on that last drive, thinking that was our last drive. I think both of them were on 4th downs, 1 4th and 2, and 1 4th and 6 when we had the incompletion in the end zone. So that should be Ashland's last timeout of this half.
Now listen, can you act as my agent and get me one of those sporty black iHeartRadio polos you're wearing?
I can do my best. You mentioned free food. Free polos are also just as great. So thank you to Fox Sports and iHeart for making me look good here on Friday night.
Curtis Tetzloff, 8 yards deep in the end zone, awaiting the snap of P.D. DiDonato.
This could go great.
There's the snap. It's a good one. Tetzloff with the kick. High end over end. Fielded at the 42. Running to the left and will actually lose a yard on the return.
Fumbled.
Ball loose. Do the Quakers have it? Do the Arrows have it? Quaker football.
That's going to be the ball game. Johnny Metzger on the return, trying to make something happen, trying to spin out of a tackle. Ends up fumbling right where he caught it, right on the 45-yard line. Unfortunate for the Arrows. You know, you're going to have 59 seconds left, and you have an explosive offense, and you got guys that can go deep, and you got guys that can jump, 50-50 balls. But Johnny Metzger putting it on the ground. Turnover, Ashland. That will seal it here, Bill.
So the Quakers will simply get in that victory formation that every team has, take a knee a couple of times, and that should bring this game to a close. The Quakers will win if they hang on to that football. Their first OCC road victory since a long time ago.
I think we said coming out of half, the team that was going to win was the team that turned it over least in the second half. Quakers, I think, are going to finish that second half with 0 turnovers, no interception, no fumbles. Ashland's just going to have the one fumble right here at the end of the minute to go in the fourth quarter. So we were correct. The team with the fewest turnovers in the second half is going to come out on top.
Fossil takes a snap, takes a knee. Quakers leading 15-7. This was a game that was a scoreless deadlock at the half.
Yeah, it definitely was a more exciting second half. We saw, the Quakers really be dominant in the third quarter, putting up 9 unanswered points. Ashland really seemed out of it. Didn't seem like they were going to have any fight back. Ashland kind of came roaring back with some offensive swag, some passing efficiency. Quakers responded with a big 42-yard running burst to make the score 15-7. And then Ashland special teams turning it over.
Fossil, a snap and a knee, and that, as the clock ticks towards 0, is going to be the final play of the game. So a back and forth second half, leading to a New Philadelphia road win tonight at Community Stadium as the Quakers top Ashland 15-7. Our iHeart postgame show is coming up next on Fox Sports 1340.
Need your lawn looking its best? Then Clips and Cuts is who you call. We have the knowledge, experience, and passion to create the most beautiful lawns and landscaping for residential and commercial mowing, plus complete landscape installments, landscape design, shrub pruning, and tree trimming. We also specialize in hardscape, offering a variety of patios, retaining walls, water features, and even snow plowing during the winter months. Call Nick Ritchie to schedule your services today.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Kasasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, you just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Kasasa.
Hi, I'm Josh with Scout Construction, proud sponsor of local teams and athletes. Check out your favorite local sports right here on the OH.REPORT.
Take a look at all the action from Friday night football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
Back here with our North Central State player of the game, and it is Trevor Bean from New Philadelphia. Trevor, congratulations on the win tonight. This was a scoreless game at halftime. What was the message in the locker room there at half?
We were just driving it down and just keep pushing and, do what we know how to do.
And then you end up with 2 touchdowns here on the night. What was working well for you there in the second half that wasn't quite there for you in the first half?
I just got to thank all my linemen, all my fullbacks, everyone that's up ahead blocking for me. I would be nothing without them, and yeah.
This is a big win. You guys haven't played Ashland in decades. You're back in the same conference with them. What does a win like this do for you guys going forward?
It really boosts our confidence, to be honest, because, not everyone in the OCC really respects us, so I guess we'll just have to show them.
Well, next week you're back home for your first OCC game at home, and it's against Mansfield Senior. What are you guys looking forward to the most there?
Just getting back to the basics, running the ball hard downhill and, getting some wins.
Trevor, appreciate the time. Enjoy this one and celebrate with your team and your family, and I'll be back on the other side of the break. We'll wrap things up with final stats here on the OH Report.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Kasasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, you just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Kasasa.
Need your lawn looking its best? Then Clips and Cuts is who you call. We have the knowledge, experience, and passion to create the most beautiful lawns and landscaping for residential and commercial mowing, plus complete landscape installments, landscape design, shrub pruning, and tree trimming. We also specialize in hardscape, offering a variety of patios, retaining walls, water features, and even snow plowing during the winter months. Call Nick Ritchie to schedule your services today.
Welcome into the Shakley Mechanical postgame show. I'm Andy Jardy with the OH Report as New Philadelphia comes into Ashland tonight and gets an OCC win. They're back in the conference. They get the win 15-7. As we'll take a look now at those final stats and see how New Philadelphia came in and got it done here on the road. And the big thing, turnovers, turnovers, turnovers. Ashland turning the ball over 4 times tonight. Really unable to get any sort of momentum going on the offensive side of things with the quarterback position here tonight. It was not Nemhard, it was Bryant instead, and this was just a really tough game for Ashland offensively. Couldn't quite get things going, and you got to give credit to that New Philadelphia defense as well, and they figured it out offensively too. 344 total yards, and they, after a sloppy first half turning it over, did not turn it over in the second half, as Trevor Bean, 2 touchdowns, gets the job done for New Philadelphia as they win tonight 15-7. So that is going to do it for our coverage here tonight in Ashland. Once again, New Philadelphia winning 15-7. They will host Mansfield Senior next week for their first home game in the OCC. So that is going to do it here. One more time, 15-7 New Philadelphia wins. Thanks to our radio friends here with the simulcast here tonight. Tony and Bill doing a great job. Jory, where would I be without you? Helping me run everything here tonight. This has been the OH Report. Stick around. Friday Night Pigskin coming your way a little bit later. And I'll be on that to break down all the action from the OCC, and we'll have every conference covered for you there. So until then, I'll see you, and you've been watching high school football live and free on the OH Report.